Good numbing. Hello YouTube, I hope you're all doing well. We're back with session 4 of Final Fantasy IV, and to be honest, there's a good chance we'll finish the game today. If we somehow don't, we almost definitely will the stream after. All I've done between streams is turn the volume down a smidge. I did a smidge grinding, but I will show you what I did. Because it wasn't grinding for levels, is why our level's barely any different. It was grinding to get Rydia's last summons. Because the only one she's missing now is Bahamut. Goblin, Cockatrice, Mind Flare, and Bomb. I'll show you how to get Bomb, because Bomb's more awkward, and it's in an area we haven't actually been to. So I just skipped treasures when... so my throat's going a little bit. So I just skipped treasures and went straight for it. My throat is going a little bit. I'll show you what I did and how to get them in a second, but the reason why we're back down here is that once you go up to the moon, when you come back down, he will be finished. It's ready! The Holy Sword Excalibur! Use it well. This is Cecil's second best weapon in the game, and it's the one you're probably going to be using for most of it. 194 attack. You get less defense, but come on. Come on, it's a beast of a weapon. So I came back here to get this. But I will show what I did. Now we've got this. Firstly, we need to head up to the moon. So I need to show you what shop you're looking for to get what you need. This is apparently something they added with the Pixel Remastered. And there's a couple of things they did to try and make some parts of the game a bit more convenient. For the completion. Because as I said, one of the best things about these Pixel Remasters is the fact that they've actually made it extremely convenient to try and get the 100%. And one of them is that they've altered a few drops. So we head back up to the moon. We're going to the naming MAIDEN. And you'll see on the minimap there's a few more dots. I'll talk about what that is in a second. In here, this particular guy will sell things to you, and the most significant thing he sells here, other than the fact that he'll sell an elixir for 100,000, is he sells sirens. Sirens forces an encounter on your spot, but not as it forces an encounter, it will force a precise encounter of your spot. So depending on what area you're in, if you use it in a spot and you get, I don't know, 2 slimes and a goblin, if you use it again, you'll only ever get 2 slimes and a goblin in that area. But if you go to the next area and it's suddenly 2 abyss worms, you'll always get 2 abyss worms. Doing that will allow you to force encounters in certain locations that you want to be able to advance. Back down on the overworld, there are 3 locations here you need to find, and then 1 back on the moon, and I'll show you the one on the moon as we go through. The 3 locations of significance on the planet is literally just outside Baron Castle. You use a siren here. Actually, I can just show you. I'll land and show you. You'll get an encounter of 6 goblins. Goblins have a really small chance of dropping their summon. So you use this, it sets with the siren, it forces an encounter of exactly 6 goblins. And so, for you trying to get the goblin summon for Rydia to get the 100%, you just do this. You just use a siren, you go for it. Save scum it though, because the sirens are kind of not cheap. The same idea, you do it again outside Mysidia for the Cockatrice. And I'll just show you the location for people going for 100%. Literally anywhere in this general vicinity, you'll get a Cockatrice. The last one is, as a motorbike passes by, in the same cave we fought that Dark Elf, that Magnet Cave. Literally, when you walk in, just use it there, and you'll get 2 Mind Flares. This cave. You can't land it here, even with the Lunar Whale, so you will have to go back, land near the town, run up, get to the Black Chocobo, then fly over and do it. Oh, I'll just land anywhere, doesn't really matter. And the last one, unfortunately, you can't get with a siren, and it's the most annoying to get. I will show the routing on the surface first before we do it. You have to start here, because all this ground is too rugged for you to reach. You go into this cave, when you come out of it, you come out here, go along, into this cave. In this cave, one of the spawns have 2 dark grenades. But like, if you use the siren, you won't get the dark grenades, you'll get abyss worms. And from there, you're supposed to be able to, you can get the chance to get the grenade to drop, and that's the 4th, like, normal enemy summon. The normal enemy summons are not good, so don't use them. It's just that's the option sort of thing. But I digress. I just wanted to kind of show off what you'd miss, and what I'd done off screen, just save the hassle of the grind. Because now the only summon Iridia is missing is, Bahamut. Which Bahamut I'll probably just put, like, here. And shuffle all this along, because everything beyond these don't matter, if I'm being blunt. Like, Asura, there's... Hey, one man, hope you're doing well. Oh, hey, it was just one video? What do you mean? Well, I digress. Our current journey is to get back onto the moon. I didn't do any treasure chest exploring. I only just went to the Dark Grenade Cave to get that bit. So I haven't picked up any of these treasure chests. To fight these alien fucks. So that was just that video. Oh, okay, yeah, I remember now. I'm glad it fixed itself then. And I'm in hell. Are you still working on the the My Faction bullshit? Oh, these guys are super resistant to ice, okay. And to make sure I didn't over-level when getting those summons for Rydia, I let money still build up, because it's just, that's a convenience, but I turned off experience gain. So no one got any extra experience for it. Ooh, golden apple. That boosts health by 100, right? Yes. Let's make our tank here. God, Edge, how did you get beat up so much? Oh, wait, why do I even ask that? You're Edge. Yeah, anyways. Oh, you're Quake. You're Quakes. You're Quakiums, and I'll just set up Kiriga. Our first visit to the moon's pretty short. We gotta go to the Crystal Tower, pick up a character. I'm not even kidding. It's like we gotta pick up like a fucking kid. And then when we do, the plot won't advance until you head back to the planet. But as soon as you head back to the planet, you're forced into the giant. So keep that in mind, actually. If you're following along or playing it yourself sort of thing, understand that the moment you reach the Crystal Tower, you're forced into basically a lot of scripting. And once you're done with the giant, the final dungeon's open to you, so you're very much in it at that point. Also, these enemies here, the dark grenades there, they only spawn in 1 in this portion, which is why I wouldn't recommend fighting them here. But those have a chance, very small chance, I think it's like 0.5%, of dropping their summon when you kill them. I say that from what I've heard, the Pixel Remaster is a little nicer on drops that are tied to trophies. So the summon drops aren't as brutal as they used to be. In the same way, the pink puff to get the adamantite armor in the final dungeon of the game apparently isn't as brutal as it used to be. Because that used to be a 1 in 50 chance of the enemy spawning when you start an encounter, and then a 2% chance of it dropping its item. It was like the cruelest son of a bitch ever. My grind was exactly this encounter to try and get the summons. I literally just do this encounter and just have Radio use Quake. Because there's 2 dark grenades here, so there's 2 chances at the 0.5. Like I said, we are approaching the giant, and so the biggest thing you want to make sure you have before you go in there, trust me on this, make sure you have Tornado. If you're playing the SNES version and can't find your spell that's called Tornado, it'll be called White Wind instead, or W Wind. In some, in the older Final Fantasies, it was called White Wind, and they changed it to Tornado in later entries. I don't think there's a boss here. I think we literally just go in, pick up a party member, and leave. Is there anything in the Crystal Palace? No, there absolutely isn't. Okay, let's just proceed. Welcome. Assuming I don't have too much trouble with the final dungeon, this stream might not even be that long. Also, I'm going to be taking the whole weekend off. Instead of just Saturday. After this stream, that's why I'm trying to get this game done today. I'm going to be busy on Sunday, and I want to take tomorrow off anyway, so I'll be back on Monday. And then equally, next week, my birthday is on the 20th, which I think is Friday. I'm not going to be streaming that day, but my scripted video should be done by then. It's one of the blessings of taking the whole weekend off. I'll have more time to actually work on it. Because I've done the whole first playthrough, I've edited the whole first playthrough, I've recorded and, you know, script written and everything else. It's just because you physically can't get the true ending on your second run, but you can now access, like, every side quest at your leisure. I want to do that. But then I learnt the hard way that although you carry over relationship values, and you carry over, like, smaller stat progressions, like you carry over your ability list, you don't actually carry over your raw levels. So when you go into NG+, Arlush is back to level 1. Uh-oh, internet's dipping. Stream. Yeah, I was gonna, but I'm not gonna be in on my birthday. That's the problem. Last year I did do his birthday stream, but this year I'm literally not gonna be in the house. I'm gonna be out all day, so I can't. The internet dipped on my end for a second there, but hopefully it's okay on your end. I will try and do, like, on the 19th, I might do a different stream, just to kind of make that the birthday stream, but on the actual 20th, I'm just not gonna be here. I'm not even gonna be in town, so... You are... I am Fusoya. My duty is to protect the slumber of the Lunarians. Didn't notice anything. Okay, cool. The Lunarians? Many years ago, a small planet between Mars and Jupiter was on the verge of destruction. The inhabitants escaped on a ship to the blue planet. The what? I am referring to your Earth. However, they were in the midst of evolving, so they created a moon where they could sleep a long slumber. So that's where Lunarians come from. However, there was one who refused to sleep. Instead, he wished to raise everything on the blue planet and create a new home there. How awful. I was able to seal him away with my powers and force him into a deep sleep. But in spite of this, he is able to channel his evil into the corrupt inhabitants of your planet. My duty is also noting the hiragana in my name, so you Westerners cannot get my name wrong. Fusoya, probably. Yeah, I kind of always had that assumption even as a kid, that, like, it was a translation thing, but yeah, Fusoya's name always has a capital F, capital S, and a capital Y, and I don't know if it's, like, supposed to be because, you know, he's from the moon, or whether that's trying to make sure people don't pronounce it wrong, or what, but it's always been like that. But then equally, like, there's other characters, plot twist, there's other characters we've already interacted and met that are from the moon who don't have that convention in their naming, so I think it's just him. Now he uses them to gather the crystals. Then he must be the one behind Golbez's actions. Who is this lowlife? His name is Zemus. Well, I mean, that Zemus. Zemus doesn't have a random capital M or something, it's just Zemus. Also, yeah, they just casually drop that there's some, like, evil ancient, like, manipulator behind Golbez here. You know, like, an hour before you fight the final boss, potentially, because we've just got this, the giant, and then we're in the final dungeon. They just casually just drop that on you. It's like, okay. Which is kind of dumb, but it is what it is. It's even from 1991, I remember going, what? Because I remember thinking Golbez was going to be the main villain, because, you know, Golbez manipulated the king manipulated his subordinates, and the subordinates manipulated Cecil. There's already, like, a chain going up, like, of, like, who's the one pulling the strings. Golbez seemed like a logical conclusion. Then you learn it's actually someone pulling Golbez's strings behind him. You're like, what? Anyway. He is gathering the crystals, our energy source, to activate the dimensional elevator in the Giants of Babel. Then he intends to destroy everything on your planet. No! However, many of us feel we can come to an understanding with the people of Earth. Those Lunarians are merely sleeping, waiting for your people to reach the right level of evolution. What about the lunar whale? That was built years ago by a younger brother, Caligula, as transportation to the blue planet. He had always dreamed of visiting unknown lands. The Devil's Roads and airship technology were also born from his desire to explore. On the blue planet, Caligula fell in love and had 2 children. You are one of his children. Oh yeah, plot twist. Cecil is a Lunarian. He's half Lunarian. Me? Then the voice I heard on Mount Ordeals was the voice from the sword of Cluya, your father. Lloyd causes a massive world calamity. Dart's dad, main protag, is named Dart, was manipulating Lloyd, and Dart's dad was manipulated by Malibu Frama. Oh, is this in the Trails series? I see it now. You resemble him when he was your age. Also, key word here. You said he had 2 kids. Who's the other kid? Was the voice of my father. You have received power from Cluya to stop Zeromus and his evil plan. You must do this for your own planet and for all Lunarians. You must hurry to the Tower of Babel in Eblin. Tower of Babel? How will we get around this barrier? I should be able to enter. We cannot let the Giant of Babel reach the Blue Planet. No, Legend Dragoon. Oh! I will join you on your journey. The Lunarian Fusoyo has joined your party. I can't stress enough, he's in your party for about 2 seconds, so don't get used to him. He's not a final party member, and there's only 1 main dungeon left, so you do the math. He's not staying for long. He does have Holy, though. There's a necessity for people to get their name right. I was putting it a weird way here. Which is like the only aggressor white mage spell. He also has Flare and Meteor, which is kind of cracked. I need to actually rearrange it. This spell list is disgusting. What the fuck? This guy needs to organize his spells better. What is this curse I'm looking at? He's not even staying in the party long yet. I'm just like, no, this is awful. I need to fix this. I said, Meteor is awful. Don't use it. 99 MP is way too much to burn on a spell that has a chance of just missing anyway. Flare, however, doesn't fucking miss. Will the actions of the underworld be determined by the moon? Yeah. And then Holy, why is, like, the things you use Holy, like, white magic for so far down the list? What is this bullshit? Come on. Kyoja. Life. Full life. I'll put Shell there. Protect. Sooner. Holy. And then Haste, because yeah, Reflect, I'll get that. Okay. Final Fantasy Cosmology screwed up. Oh, wait until we, wait until I cover 5. Wait until we cover 5, and we got to start talking about blue magic. And, time magic. And red magic. Or when I start talking about 12, and I have to talk about, like 8 fucking different magics. Also, you can see it on the map that there's a marker. I don't think it will let us in. Yeah. This warp literally puts you into the final dungeon of the game. That's how close we are to the end. It's just we have to go do the giant first, and then we come back, and then we can do it. But when we come back, before I go straight to the final dungeon, when we return, we'll have a new party member back. What are your stats, old man? If your stats are decent, I might go try Bahamut again. Your stats are not decent. Your stats aren't even... I'm just going to do this. Hey, Edge, it's time for you to prove your worth. Be a front runner. Alright, let's go. Then we need to backtrack all the way back through these caves. Oh, I can at least show off Meteor. Never mind, Rydia's gonna annihilate everything because Rydia's like the best character in this game. Never mind. Rydia, best waifu. Rydia, yeah, I like Rydia. I love her design. When I finish this game today, well, hopefully I do, I will like show off like the artwork for this game. I love her design when she's all grown up. Speaking of Rydia, that's the only reason we're going to go after Bahamut later on, because we need to try and get Bahamut. And I know, but the thing is, the reason why I'm like, I kind of want to try and fight him now, is that if we come back to fight him after the giant, I can't stress enough, we will probably rinse the son of a bitch, because the giant is the experience exploit that I will absolutely be showing off. Because it will save so much grinding, because you're supposed to be at level 75 for the final boss, and we're like level 50, and there's only one dungeon between us and the final dungeon of the game. So yeah, you're not hitting level 75 by just going for it, you need to grind. Which is why you do the exploit, because it completely skips that. Two girls that I love. Wait, who's the other one? You're about to say fucking... It's Muse. Oh, right. I was about to say, you're about to say a Trails of Cold Steel character, but I couldn't think of her name. Oh, bitch. I'm just gonna run. We don't need to fight you. Before you go back to the planet... Rest. She's doing perfect. Before you go back to the planet, because as soon as you go back to the planet, you're basically like... They might have changed it in the Pixel Remaster, but you're basically auto-set to go straight into the giant. So, like, rest before you're in. In fact, I'm going to leave just so I can save as well. Because for some reason you can't save in your safety ship. I don't make it make sense. And see S-Craft, the finishing move. Of course, even harder. Trust me, she's a sight to behold. Yeah, as soon as you come here, you're immediately set. Ah! The tower. We were too late. What do you mean, too late? The giant of Babel will come forth. Alright, time for the giant. This was bonkers to me as like a 6 or 7-year-old. Just like you're playing this fantasy game, and suddenly this giant mechanical giant comes out the ground and starts laser beaming everything. I was just like, what the heck? I was so like baffled as like a 6-year-old because this, even as a kid, this made no sense. But yeah, meet the giant. Meet like the real final dungeon of the game in my eyes. There's an actual final dungeon after this, but the giant feels like more of like the climax of the story. The true final dungeon after this is just hunting down Zeromus to like basically tie up the last loose end. But this is like what all the whole story was building up to, getting all the crystals to get the giant. Worth mentioning again, however, once you leave the giant at the end of this, you cannot return. It's the only dungeon that is a one and done. So I need to check when we get there if there's treasure chests that count towards the completion. Because if there is, then I need to make sure I get them all, because it will make the get 100% on treasure chests a missable trophy. It literally will, because the giant is a one and done. And you know, it's the second to last dungeon of the game. You don't want to do the whole game again to get one trophy. No! Damn it. Is there nothing we can do? What's that? Hey, the dwarves. They've come up from the underworld. Dwarven tanks, ready to fire. We will fight alongside you for the planet, our home. Lalio! I could not lie in bed and leave the responsibility of fighting to my friends. This is the worst. Oof, yeah. Meanwhile... You can relax now. With my help, this will be a cinch. All engines to full power. Yes, sir. Hey y'all, miss me? The Elder restored us. Yet the kids aren't dead anymore. Should not fight this battle alone. We must fight for the sake of our survival. I will fight with you, Cecil. With the courage you have given me. Wait, who are you again? What? I'm Edward. I was with you for most of the first act of the game. Didn't you like fall off the ship and then was never seen again, other than like side quests? What? No, I'm more important than that, I promise. What? No, where's the screen cutting the player? Edward's the worst party member in this game. I'm glad he's only with you for like 10 minutes. back off. Ugh. Oh, yeah, like, because it triggers your gag reflex, isn't it? Anyway, thank you. The giant looks confused. Now is our chance to enter the giant. I get it, we're going to the court's hut. Sid. Love it. Yeah. Approach his mouth. Also, the giant theme starts playing now. Which also, as a heads up, plays for like one half of the final. The actual final dungeon doesn't have a final dungeon theme. Half of it plays the Red Wings theme. The other half of it plays the giant theme. It doesn't actually have its own final dungeon theme. That wasn't a thing until I don't even think it was in 5. Actually, now I think about it. I mean, Final Fantasy 3, there was a Crystal Tower theme, but they also played in another location before it. The first real, like, true iconic final dungeon theme that was just for the final dungeon, nothing else, was honestly, I think, Kefka's Tower in 6. Which, to be fair, was a damn good final dungeon theme. It's starting out on, like, the heaviest fucking synthesizers, then it builds up and up and up, and then a drum creeps in, and it just hard drops into an orchestra. Like, Jesus Christ, I want to cover 6 later on just for the soundtrack alone. That was a goddamn awesome final dungeon theme. Just like build up all the synth and then it just drop into approach its mouth. Who's he? Fusoya, a Lunarian. He's a Lunarian? Can you do this or not? God, the tree red wings. Yeah, keep your beard on. There's nothing I can't do. As much as I love this game more than 6, I won't lie, 6 is like a fucking masterpiece in its own way. Like, a lot of time, if you go up to a Final Fantasy 7 fan, and you go, Final Fantasy 9's my favourite one, they'll probably roll their eyes at you, because they know the only difference between people loving 7 over 9, or people loving 9 over 7, is which one you played first. And so no matter what you bring to the argument, it doesn't matter, because it will always boil down to personal preference, and whatever one you played first. If you go up to a Final Fantasy 7 fan and say Final Fantasy 6 is my favourite one, however, they will look at you and be prepared for a conversation, because there's actual genuine arguments on both sides of why one of them is better than the other, and it's not just personal preference. 6 is a phenomenal game. It has its own little problems, especially if you play the SNES version. Jesus Christ, don't play the SNES version, play any version that came afterwards. But the story, the world building, the music, the characters, everything in that game is such a treat. Like, I can't wait until I cover 6. I don't know when, because 6 is such a bigger game. The reason why I didn't mind covering 4 is because I knew I could get 4 done in like 4 or 5 streams. Hence, like, we're probably going to be done on this one, but like 6 is way bigger. Like, but 6 will easily be like 10 or 11 streams just to finish it. I'm not even kidding. Now, hang on. And I'm also less experienced with 6 as a whole, so getting 100% in that game will take way longer. Especially because I think the goddamn Colosseum counts for 100%, which sucks. I'm like, no. Anyway, we're in the giant. We have 8 treasure chests. You know, I'm a tactics enjoy it. Good tactics is great. The second best PS1 era Final Fantasy. And this is coming from someone who really doesn't give a shit about tactic games. Is that Live Farmville? Yeah, from what I could see in the images, and because I looked at like the teaser images and whatnot, it's what it looked like it is. Which is fine, because then that just becomes my cozy game. Like, when I eventually start an LK, because I do plan to start an LK at some point, what we'll do is like just make it like Farm Fridays or some shit, you know? Like, I'll just, like, it's sort of like how we did Hades on the weekends. I'll probably just do them on the weekends. A cozy game. Yeah, just something that we just kind of chill out on. I mean, the whole Atlas franchise is kind of my cozy games. But, yeah, you beat me to it. Damn it. But you know what I mean. Like, Nelke will be super, we just kind of chill and vibe. Alright, there's 5 chests on this floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Speaking of Alvia, though, since I planned to get this game done in this stream, my schedule's open again. I'm thinking when I come back on Monday, we finally make a start on Ireland, and I'll start Atelier Verona. Yeah, I know there's a boss, but it's clearly the Monopoly guy. Fusoya's alright, by the way. The reason why I'm not really using him that much is just because I have better equipment on Rydia. And Rydia has, like, an infinite pool or better amount of MP. Or it's going to be rough. I'm sure it will. Oh god, the giant soldier. Speaking of rough. But I'm prepared to just kind of take, like, the jank as it comes. I saw that there was a discussion. Actually, I'll use, where is Holy? Holy, just to kind of show it, assuming Rydia doesn't kill this thing. This thing has like 30,000 health, which is why I was like, oh god. Oh no, never mind. I'm thinking of a different giant. Oh, Rydia just learned Death! I've been inventing your own questions to answer. Rydia. I think death is literally what it says on the shit and on the tin. Is literally, yeah, it tries to cause instant death, which means at this stage of the game it's going to work on nothing because, of course, it's not. I think the next thing she learns is Flare, though, at like 55 or 56, so that's exciting. High Potion. Ether. Oh, these guys. Is this the one? It is... Is it the one I'm after? Hang on. I think the one that summons a dragon is the one I'm after. Let me use Tornado and see if it works. It does. I don't think it's the one I'm after, but yeah, I think we are at the... Yeah. Okay, this isn't the enemy I'm going... This isn't the spot I'm going to use for the exploit, but yeah, we are... Also, there's what Holy looks like. But yeah, that is the general idea. If you, like, pester that summoner, that monster, that... What was it? The robot. Fucking jeez, my brain fried. It will always spawn an enemy. There's a particular one that spawns a dragon that's susceptible to Tornado, and that dragon will drop something like 27,000 experience points if you kill it. And so you literally get it spawned in, Tornado it, then use like Thunder 1 on the robot since it does 1 damage, rinse and repeat. And you just do that until you run out of MP to cast Tornado, and then you finish the fight. And you will get enough experience to level up like 30 times. And I'm not even kidding. But I don't think that's the exact one I'm after. I say, because you can do it with the giants as well, but the giants don't drop the as much. Oh, hey, a siren, nice. Alright, let me just double check, so I want to make... Let's say, because I want that trophy, and by the looks of it, these chests count. These chests fucking count. I want to make sure I get them all. If I miss one, I'll just save on a different file. I'm going to run away because we've already fought a giant soldier. I've already got it on the bestiary. I know that every enemy that spawns here can spawn somewhere else, which is why I'm not too fussed about fighting everything here. Like when I'm going for the bestiary. Oh, Soma drop. That, in max MP. Rydia can have it. To be honest, from what I've heard from like the, Arlen trilogy, Verona isn't the one that's going to be rough, because that's based on Verona Plus, which like was like a re-release that like had some extra like quality of life added to it later on. It's Totori that's going to be the one that's brutal, because that didn't get the same treatment, so it's technically like the oldest version. Silver Apple, that's increases max health by 50. Where's Cecil? Cecil always gets them because he's the tank of the party. We don't need to keep fighting these guys. But that'll be fun, because after the Totori, Maruru will be, you know, naturally slightly less rough. It's not really rough in anything but movement. And then, obviously, Lulua came out only like a few months before Riser 1, so that'll be much more polished. It came out after Lydian Suli. I don't want to fight the beamers here. Or the searcher and beamer. Could have sworn a Sotatori called out some slugs for speeding. Just let me double check. I'm not missing anything, because I think there's still one more chest, and that worries me when there's only one. Okay, it's there. We're good. Okay, we're at the spot. We're at the spot. That is a tent and save room. You go there, and then you just literally zip down this corridor bit until you counter a searcher. You hit the searcher with Thunder 1, it will spawn a dragon. You then tornado the dragon and beat it, and it will drop 27,000 experience. Then you just use Thunder 1 on the searcher again. Rinse and repeat. It's that easy. And if you just keep on doing it, you'll get astronomical amount of experience. Oh, monster in a box. Last arm. I think it's flying. Okay, no, it's not flying. I think the enemy's flying. I think that crit done miss. Where did you drop, my friend? Ooh, an elixir. What the fuck are you doing here? What's this end? That's not there usually. Hang on a minute. What? This isn't here normally. Did they know? Did someone at Square know? And you went, you know what? I think someone at Square knows. I think someone at Square is aware of the exploit, and so it's like, let's just put a random fucking shop here. Bruh, that's actually kind of... This shop's not here. I'm telling you now, this shop's not here usually. Someone knows. Someone knows about the exploit. And then, you know what, let's just put a shop here. No, son of a bitch. They even put a cottage here because that's what you use. You burn up your cottages to grind here. There's not... Wow, that's actually kind of sick that they put that in the Pixel Remaster. There's not a shop there usually. That's some forward thinking on their part. They like, yeah, let's make it a bit more convenient for them. Because literally, you just... Oh, actually, will a... I doubt it, but we can find out. Let's use a siren and see what happens. No, we don't get what we're after. Okay. Cumbersome. Well, they actually gave you a shop for people they know are going to use the exploit, so it's easier to use. Alright, let's clear out the mess. Okay, is this the one that's going to spawn what we're after? You use Thunder 1. I probably should have had Fusoyo cost Thunder 1. No, this is not the one we're after. Okay. I mean, sick as in cool. No, they fixed the cool exploit. No, they gave you the tools to lean on it more. I think we need to get a searcher on its own. Because there's one that will spawn a dragon. This way it turns out they have fixed it and the searcher doesn't spawn the dragon anymore. And that would be annoying. It's like, hey, we've given you a shop to make you think, and then we haven't. That would suck. If they have got rid of the exploit, I'm not sure what we're going to do the power grinding. Oh, we're not even getting those enemies anymore. Come on. Come on. I know it's not a rare spawn, but it's rare-ish. I think we need the summoner on its own. I'm trying to remember. Meanwhile, this naming waste, you're just like, why is this guy just running back and forth? You know what? I'm gonna... Each time we encounter a new one of these guys, I think I'm just gonna try. I'll use Thundara since it won't do much to the other guy anyway. Oh, right, Thundara is, like, useless. Okay, don't use tier 2 magic anymore. That should do it. Okay, will you summon the dragon? Ah. Okay, are you susceptible to Tornado? Yes, you are. So its health is at now 99% gone, so that will kill regardless. Okay, yeah, we need to search that it's on its own, because it's supposed to be more ominous. You see that it's on its own, you go, what? And then you realise it's actually, you know, your death. You know, the actual, check. Will be, hang on, if I go, since we did save anyway, if I go back, one sec, I'll show you. The actual check, per se, is if I go back to the title screen. Extras, bestiary, display the map. It's... No, it's down here. Yeah, we haven't encountered the dragon yet, okay. Because I know what the other ones are. We haven't encountered the dragon yet. They haven't moved the dragon out. If they'd moved the dragon out, then yeah, then we know they've done the exploit. So it is still there, I'm just getting unlucky. I need the scanner to be on its own. Which so I remember it being a rare-ish spawn, but not that rare. You know what, just so we don't have to do this too much, hang on. I am going to just do that, just to exploit it even further. If we, like, get super fucking cracked on levels, so be it. Oh, jeez. And I know it's this bit because of how long I spent in here as a, like, once I learnt the exploit. Because I wasn't aware of it until, like, just before the PSP version came out. And then I saw a Let's Player cover it, and I was like, what? You can do that? Alright, gotta do the obligatory check. And so I'm pretty sure it's the only one on its own, but I know if I just assume not, I'll end up missing it. Actually, you know what? Fuck it, I am gonna leave. You know what would also help? I could just Google it and be like, have they got rid of it? Hang on. One second, just looking it up. I want to see the enemy's name again. The was it like Searcher? I think it was called. Because I can just search Pixel Remaster Bestiary Searcher spawns. Bruh, no, that thing's not even spawning to let me know. It's like, I need to stop speaking out loud, because fates hear me. The fates always hear me, and they go, oh, you're after this, are you? Well, fuck you. Yeah, Searcher, okay. The Searcher XP farm. Okay, everything I'm seeing says it should still work, I'm just getting unlucky. And to be fair, it's impossible to miss when you've got the dragon, because the dragon's huge. Oh, speaking of, there it is. Alright, so here's what you do. You use the tornado on it. Because it's susceptible. This thing has like 30-odd thousand health. It now has less than 10 health. You have literally anyone else bonk it. It's dead. You use Thunder 1. It summons another one. You use Tornado. You kill it. It does hit like a truck back, so be a smidge wary, but... You use Thunder 1. And you literally just keep doing it until you run out of tornadoes. Just be somewhat wary. And that's literally the exploit. This is literally it. You just keep on doing this. Because the dragon, I think of any normal enemy, it drops the most experience of any normal enemy. So the fact that it's not only the most experience dropping, but it's also a spawn you can manipulate to, like, mass exploit. You kill, like, I think you have to kill 25 of these things to be the appropriate level for the final boss. So keep in mind we're doing quad experience, like, we'll do, like, 8 or 9 will probably be set enough for the final boss, you know? We'll probably get the trophy. Oh, whoops, I forgot to, I got distracted. I was too busy talking shit. I forgot to, tornado this bitch. That was my bad. I got distracted. And that's literally it. This is why I say, like, don't worry too much about grinding for the post-game. Just know this is here. I'm gonna wait for... Yeah, do that. Just to be safe, I'll heal. Of course, I had to search it up and get confirmation, and afterwards we were fine. So it's not fine on its own, it's just some searches will spawn Centaurians, some of them will spawn dragons. And you literally just, your best odds, literally just keep doing it until Radio runs out of MP, because there's literally a save point right next to you, and it only costs 25 to use this thing. So we're gonna be here for a minute, but... The fact it's susceptible to Tornado is the only reason why this works. Because Tornado is gravity magic, and gravity magic in Final Fantasy does percentage instead. Tornado does 99% no matter what. So no matter what, this thing's health goes into single digits. and I mean this, literally any one of you who's playing this, do this. Doesn't matter what level of experience you have, no matter how much of a challenge you want, it's literally right there to be used, so use it. It's literally for your own good. Because the amount of grind you have to do from like the mid-50s to like genuinely like the late 70s, if not early 80s, to be ready for the final boss is so stupidly big. It genuinely is. It's one of the few things that really show this game's age, that the final dungeon is such an insane grind prerequisite. Alternatively, if Rosa starts to get low on MP with the heals, I will, like, wrap up the fight. Because we are, like, tanking, like, a flame, for example, like, almost every turn. I'll use Cure of Go instead, so we're using a little less. Oh, that worked out. Okay, but the thing's way closer to death, though, so we have to be a bit careful. I didn't mean to bonk it that hard. Nice. There's still a part of me that's genuinely baffled that they decided to put a shop here. It's like they really feel, it really feels like they're aware of the exploit, and so you know what, let's just put a shop here so it's a bit more convenient for you guys. Like, not get rid of it, just put a shop here so people that want to do it can just have a bit of an easier time, so they at least like just buy more cottages or buy more elixirs if they want to do it. That's just like, that's wild to me. And like kudos to them, because there's one thing to be aware of an exploit and then choose not to fix it. It's another thing to make it fucking easier for people. What? You know, that's so wild to me. I think I'll kill 3 more after this one. 2 more actually. I'm looking at Redia's MP. When our MP drops to 100. And the fact that this guy in the back literally doesn't do anything else other than just spawn the guy when hit is even more of a blessing, because it's just one less thing to worry about. It's just the Durgan you spawn in. If you get beat up by the dragon, once you manage to barely kill it, you can just heal and wait until you're back up to full strength instead of worrying about it. I'll just do this. Alright, let's see how much experience we get. Yep. Oh, we didn't level up as much as I thought we would. Rosa learned Holy, Rydia learned Flare and Media. Yeah, from 54 to 62, 63, 60, 60, 58. And we've got a gold hourglass and a gold hairpin. We're going to do more of it. We're going to do more of that. I kind of underestimated a little there. But, we do now have Flare and Meteor on Best Girl. And Rosa learnt Holy. Whoops. Yeah, I'll do that. Alright, I'm back at it. Try and get the luck again. But this time, hopefully, from like the correct side. That would be nice. Alright, let's see. Are you going to spawn another dragon? That'd be great. Yes! Okay, we're in business. Honestly, if we can get to like level 70, as we burn through the rest of the giant and then the final dungeon, we'll probably be like level 75-ish by then. So yeah, back to the grind. We are going to be here for a while, but it'll be worth it so we don't have to grind later. And we'll be grinding for longer later if we did it later, you know, so it's worth it. That said, whilst I'm doing this, as we're going to be here for a hot minute, we can talk about a few other things, like my general scheme schedule of what I'm doing. Oh, don't kill the thing. That was a crit. Oh, okay. I misaligned a little then. I was like, please don't kill that thing. Because I'm going to start with Rona next week. At least that's the intention. After, like, I come back from my birthday, like, and whatnot, there are a couple other things I plan to do. Like, obviously, as we work our way through, the Arlen saga, that it's not going to be the only thing we're doing. The day before my birthday, I have an idea for a stream. That might be kind of fun. But it's also, like, I don't want to give it away, because if I don't even know if I'll decide to do it yet. But it might be fun as, like, a one-off, like, meme stream. Especially because the game, as far as I can tell, is only like 2 to 3 hours long, so I'm like, yeah, that'd be a perfect length for like just to kind of take the piss. Did I already tornado this thing? I can't remember already. Yes, I did. Okay. But we've also got Caligula 2, I'm starting at some point. We're getting closer and closer to June. June and all the releases coming in, not just June, but July as well, which is like, yay! That'll be fun to keep up with. In terms of June, I'm probably not going to cover Street Fighter 6. I really wanted to, but looking at the schedule and how packed it's going to be with like so many other releases late in the month, eventually it was just like, more on a financial standpoint, I was like, I need to just kind of let something slide if I'm going to get everything I want in, and Street Fighter 6 unfortunately is the casualty. I do want to cover Street Fighter 6 at some point, because the World Tour mode looks super fun to me. But it's not going to be at launch, unfortunately. It might be a little later on. But the big one for June is obviously Final Fantasy 16. When that game comes out, that will be our top priority. And if we're not done by the time Atelier Marie comes out, we will juggle the two. If we are, great, because then I don't have to worry about juggling them. We can just jump straight into the other. But I will like start Marie the day it comes out as well, and that's my intention. Additionally, however, in June, Sonic Origins Plus is dropping on us, which I want to do at least one stream on. I'll probably only do one stream, because it's mostly adding Game Gear games and doing some quality of life features here and there. But I still want to do at least one stream showing it off. But also, the second update to Sonic Frontiers is dropping, which, although we don't know yet, because it's just we know it's coming in an update, the director himself has confirmed that they're working on rebalancing, reworking, and just adding more content to the final chapter of the game. Because they themselves admitted that they felt that the final chapter was a smidge too repetitive for what was supposed to be the grand finale of the game. They felt that there was more they could do with it, so they will be through the free updates. And so if that's in Update 2, I'm ready. If that's in Update 2, I'm ready. I don't know if it will be, but I'm so ready for that. If it's in Update 3 instead, then Update 3 is even more cracked than it already is going to be. Update 3 is adding more playable characters to the game, for goodness sake. That update's already super cracked. So if they're adding, they're basically, in a lot of people's eyes, fixing the finale of the game as well, even better. Because my biggest thing isn't, the level or the map, because I didn't mind exploring the map. I thought that it was a nice, almost full circle effect that they got out of it. Which I imagine is what they were going for to begin with. For the final area. No, my thing was that the final bosses were, although still fun, the weakest bosses in the game. And when it's the final bosses, if they end up being the ones that's kind of underwhelming, that's a problem. Which is a shame, because I love all the other bosses. Sonic Frontiers is still one of my Game of the Years, next to Blue Reflection from last year. But there are little things that I would love to see enhanced or expanded upon. And if they're expanding on the finale of the game, then I'm like, bring it on. I want to see what they do. I don't know how much that can be done with things like the actual final boss, considering how much of it's scripted in places. But I'm still curious to see what they do with it. Are you already doing it? Yes, I was like, you're already doing that, so I can do that. And then speaking of, as we're breaking into the end of May and breaking into June, although E3 doesn't exist anymore, we're still entering what's effectively E3 season, so there's going to be a shit ton of game announcements. I don't really watch these things religiously like I used to when I was younger, but I do pay enough attention that if there's anything interesting that gets announced, I'll probably make it a talking point. My biggest thing is probably going to be the Sony showcase, which is rumoured to be the end of this month. Just because I'm curious, not for the first-party stuff, because I honestly couldn't give a shit about Spider-Man, or Wolverine, or, Last of Us, whatever, or, any of the other stuff. I'll just use it from you, yeah, fair. Or, any of that stuff, I'm not fussed. I'm more interested in just what's coming to PlayStation. The only, first-party Sony thing that I would want to see is the one thing that they adamantly refuse to ever do, and that's literally Bloodborne anything. Literally Bloodborne anything. There's a new Bloodborne rumour literally every other week, but it's been like that for 7 years, so I don't pay it any mind. And I wish I was kidding. There's always a new Bloodborne rumour circling the block that, Sony plans to do something with it, and then it never comes to fruition. But that's it. That's the only thing, on first parties I look forward to. So I'm more looking for the third parties that I might be interested in getting. Because that's kind of it. And maybe, Gamescom, just because that's more generalized, but every time Jeff Keighley tells me that his next show is going to be the best one yet, it's always ended up worse than before. And so we'll see. We'll see. Jeff might have a couple tricks up his sleeve, but I'm not expecting much. Because to be honest, my only two real things that I look forward to nowadays in terms of these big events is the E3 season, not the actual individual event, just a season, just because it's just people celebrating video games and, for the most part, having a good time. And Tokyo Game Show, because that's where most of the games I care about get announced. And especially since, from what I can tell, every Tokyo Game Show is when Gus announces a new game. I'm curious to see what they do next. And I'm going to make it very clear, and I'll make it very extra clear in my Knights of Azure 2 review once I've done my conclusion at the end. I really want the next game they make to be Knights of Azure 3. Not just because I enjoy Knights of Azure 2, and not just because, just jump the gun a little bit, there's a few plot threads they don't wrap up into. They leave it open for a third to come in. It's because I can see what they want to do, and I can see what the lessons they've learned from their other franchises, if applied to it, could make it something great. The biggest thing is that Knights of Azure 1 had an interconnected world, and Knights of Azure 2 was had Metroidvania elements, where certain demons could unlock certain things for you to help you advance through maps in different ways. The problem was that it was just level by level in that game, so you didn't really get to experience it in the same way. All they need to do is put them together. Take what they learned from like Rise of Free, where it was like a large, sprawling, interconnected map, and apply the Metroidvania side of it, and they've literally got a working formula. Because yeah, Rise of Free had its problems, and no one's denying that. I could see the potential, and I could see what they were going for, and I could see what they could learn from it to improve on in the future. And I can't stress enough, Knights of Azure is the perfect fit for that. The open world. It doesn't need to be open world. Rise of Free was an open world, it was open zone. So it was much smaller in scale, and I think that would still work for it. It doesn't even need to be like open, it could be like just like everything's interconnected. Because that was the only problem I had with Knights of Azure 1, is that the interconnected map was cool to look at, but it was basically Corridor Simulator. It was one giant circle that everything linked together sort of thing, instead of being real open, and you had no reason to do like any intricacies in between it. Whilst Knights of Azure 2 gives you loads of intricacies, but the maps are tiny levels that are most of them are one and done, especially on the other side of the Academy. Jesus Christ, the mines are one and done. The Moon Castle is super one and done. The Eclipse Castle is two and done because the game forces you out halfway through. And it's like, you end up not getting that, like, magic for it a little bit. Like, I want them to have the bigger interconnected map. So it doesn't need to be full open world, just take the lessons from Rise of Free's bigger maps and work it from there. I think Knights of Azure could really benefit from it. I have a few other small things, like Arlush has a way better and more elaborate combo game than Arnis did from the first game, but Arnis was way fucking quicker. Like, she was a snappy little bitch when you used her. You press the attack button, you've just hit the enemy. Like, it was like there was no compromise, there was no anything. Whilst Arlush has weight to all of her attacks. Hinting at another Knights of Azure? No, I'm entirely just hoping here. It's entirely on copium. The only reason why I want there to be a third game is because the Curia and the Loudest Order their stories are not even remotely concluded. Oh, I just realised we're super low on MP. Like, their stories are not even remotely concluded, yet both of which are extremely integral to the overall lore of that series. $68, $870, yeah. Rage of the Gods, what the fuck's that? Same object as Thundara, okay. Where's 10 Empire there? Because as much as I want Blue Reflection free, it's been a longer period of time since another Knights of Azure game since Blue Reflection. Blue Reflection was literally, 2021. Whilst Knights of Azure 2 came out the same year as Lydian Suli. So, like, come on. Ocean is grind is even worse than Empire games. Oof. I'll do one more round. I won't do all the way to the end. I think I'll do one more round and, like, get Rydia to, like, 300 MP. Finish that fight, and then that should be enough experience all in all for endgame. I also just want an uncompromised good ending in a Knights of Azure game. Knights of Azure 1's true ending was nice, but Knights of Azure 2, it didn't spoil it, it was just something you always knew was gonna happen, happens, and so you kind of just sit there and go, man, Arnis doesn't get to have a happy ending. Because Knights of Azure 1's ending is that Arnis manages to make it so her wife doesn't have to die, but at the consequence of her becoming immortal. Knights of Azure 2 is based like 100 odd years later. And so when you meet Arnis, Lilise has been dead for a while. So like Arnis is widowed, and it does have like it's like a bitterness on her. Like, she tries to keep positive, she has her vibe, she does what she wants to do, and she's still very much Arnis. But there's just a seeking bitterness behind her that she's stuck with this curse almost. Like, she doesn't really get a true happy ending to be with Lilise in the next life. And with Arlush, it's kind of looking like it's going to be vaguely similar, just replace Lilise with Runehide. I say looking because I haven't got the trending myself, but yet to like conclude on that, but it feels like it's going down a similar path. I did like, though, that when you first meet Arnis, she's lost her mind, and to get her back to her senses, you have to find the wedding ring she gave Lilise. Because in the first game, it was, you knew that they loved each other, but there was almost... It wasn't like they implied more, it was more like they just didn't elaborate on more. Like, you knew these two loved each other, and you knew that they were like soulmates, and it wasn't like they're best buddies and they're both girls. No, they actually had romantic feelings for each other. But they kind of like left it at that, you know? Whilst when you get into the sequel, when you lose her mind, and you have to hunt down the wedding ring that Arnis first, like Arnis put on Lilise's finger, and then after Lilise died, had kept with her, but when she lost her mind, had lost along the way. And then you read like the details, and it's like it's been kept in like perfect condition because Arnis it was like literally cleaned it and looked after it every single day after Lilise died. Like, it's bittersweet. Like, she got her happy ending for a while, but she's immortal, and so is always going to outlive her wife, her human wife. And I think that's the biggest thing with the Knights of Azure games. I love the character story building. Everyone has so much shit going on. Like, it's kind of wild sometimes. You sit there and you go, man, this is a Gust game. They were fucking cooking with the story and the characters. Everyone's got a lot of shit going on. Like, I make the joke that, like, Runehide is like a super tsundere, because, yeah, she kind of is. But she goes through a whole... Okay, you're not the one I'm looking for. Because she kind of is, but she goes through so much, and a lot of it, it's not that she's a tsundere because she's a tsundere, yada yada. A lot of it is because, firstly, she's extremely prideful, and secondly, she works for the Loudest Order, and the woman she loves, Arlush, works for the Courier, and the Loudest Order and Courier are basically on the verge of war. And so she's not tsundere just because, you know, she doesn't want to share her feelings. It's because she doesn't want to let herself get too attached. Because if she does, and then war does break out, she might have to fight Arlush. And she can't bear that thought. There's genuinely a whole thing of a character arc of Arlush actually having to go out of her way to tell Ru that if worse comes to it and something happens and they do end up having to be on opposite sides, she straight up wants to bump into Ru in battle, because she wants, if anyone's going to kill her, she wants Ru to be the one to kill her, because she's the one she trusts to kill her and continue her legacy. And it's like, and then that really fucks up and messes with Ru's head for a bit, because she doesn't know what to do. The idea of having to kill the woman she loves is insane for her. Also, if you haven't noticed as well, like, Knights of Azure in both games are super fucking gay. And I mean that in the best way possible. Like, they are unapologetically... Like, firstly, Knights of Azure 2, I don't think has a single male character in its entire universe, which is wild to me, because it's like, what do you mean? The first game had at least 2 men. Were they the last 2 men in existence? How did they go extinct in 100 years? But there's literally no men in Knights of Azure 2. Haven't played them. I don't think they'd be for you, because they're action RPGs, if I'm being blunt. I like them. I really like them for what they are, but they are action RPGs. But it's like, I genuinely really enjoy them. And I also, like, I mentioned it a bit in the review, I disagree heavily with the common consensus that Knights of Azure 2 is the epitome of one step forward, one step back. I really don't agree. A lot of people bring up the fact that in Knights of Azure 1 you could have 4 demon parties. You have 4 demon party members, and in Knights of Azure 2 you can only have 2. And I'm like, yeah, but in Knights of Azure 1, every single demon had exactly 1 skill, and they would only use it if you told them to. Whilst in Knights of Azure 2, they're a fully functional extra party member, and they have Metroidvania skills to enhance the map more, and they can transform into weapons, so you've got extra arsenal on you depending on what demons you bring with you. In my opinion, I think they're better. Yes, there's half of them, but you know, it's less quantity, more quality. Yeah. You know, and a lot of the game feels that way. I genuinely think there are a couple things they like stumble on a little bit. Like, I kind of miss having 5 weapons on the fly from the first game. Only being able to have a maximum of 3, because it depends what ones are the 2 demons you bring, does feel a little less. But then equally, the replacement for that is that each weapon has way fucking more on it than they used to. Like, Arnis's game plan was she had 4 basic attacks and a light hit, and every single light hit had a triangle variation. So if you press square triangle, you got an attack. You press square triangle, you get a different attack, etc., etc. Whilst in Arlush, they actually cover like fighting game combos. Like, they'd actually give you like square triangle, and they'll actually do a combo, you know? Like, they actually give you more for each weapon. There's far more under the surface. And the fact that there's no... I know some people prefer universal combo strings, but I kind of like both for different reasons. There's no universal combo string in Knights of Azure 2, so each weapon has an entirely different set of like fighting game commands. And so it was fun to experiment and mess with them. Yeah, and that's fair enough. And having an actual human partner is chef's kiss, and actually having like techniques you can do with them, that's cool. And having them with your partner ends up feeding into their Lily rank so you can get closer to them. And it's having not major effects on the story, but minor effects on cutscenes is also pretty cool. The example I go to is on my first playthrough, because I knew I couldn't get the true ending, and to get the true ending you need to max out the friendship with Lilia, and you physically can't on your first playthrough because you need 10 events with her, and she joins too late in the party to get 10 events. I did max out Ru, and it led to an interesting scene where near the end of the game, Arlush doubted herself, and she went to Lilia for advice, like on her own. And when she went to Lilia, Lilia didn't know what to say because she didn't know Al's head well enough. And then she instead went to Ru, and Ru knew exactly what to say to support her, to help her, to cut her back on her feet. And when I looked it up, it's like, no, that scene only went that way for me because I maxed out Ru but didn't touch Lilia. If I'd gotten further along with Lilia, she would have been more understanding and more helpful. And I was like, that's cool. It's still, the end result, no matter what organization it is that Arlush eventually finds her footing to do the right thing. It's just who supports her, sort of thing. And because Lilia didn't work out, because I never spent any time with her, it ended up being Ru. And I was like, that's just kind of nice. You know, it's just a nice attention to detail. That's that, yes. Also, it's kind of fun. You don't unlock... It doesn't let you skip cutscenes at all until you're on your second playthrough, right? When it's cutscenes that aren't like actual cutscenes, it's characters standing and talking. When you use like the speed up function, the game doesn't actually like speed everything up. In the sense, like, it doesn't make the whole game world speed up. No, it just makes every action on the screen happen in double time, which results in physics getting a little janky at times. Like, nothing game-breaking or nothing weird, but it's like, if you put an alternate costume on Arlush, her boobs cannot handle being sped up. Like, the physics on the boobs, as soon as she turns once, they just go wild. Like, they're like a dead or alive. Because the physics of everything that's just been running at double speed makes it break. And it's just hilarious. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to show that in the review, that if you wear, like, the DLC costume, it kind of fucking breaks speeding up cutscenes. There's enough, like, horny jokes that I make in the review, because the game is kind of horny as fuck. There's 2 separate instances where Arlush realizes that a member of the party is not doing 100% mentally, and so follows them into, like, a bath or a pool. and then like either flirts with them or tries to talk to them when like they're most vulnerable, and it's just like, Alush, please, you can't do this. My favorite one is Rue. When Rue's like really like in a bad shape, like she's not 100%, she's not what she was to do. But fucking like Alush stalks her into like a bathhouse, and then she literally like as soon as Rue goes, "How long have you been doing there?" And she went, "So I was just looking at your beauty." And I was just like, Alush, no, Alush, no, it's not the time to start flirting. Like Alush as a character has genuinely really grown on me. I think she's a great protagonist. Because my first impression of her is that she was going to be like really gruff and like kind of antisocial and rough around the edges, and she kind of is. But when she gets out of her comfort zone, like when she's like in her comfort zone, sorry, she's a colossal dork. And I mean that like in the best way possible. She's such a complete dork. Like hanging out with Camilla, there's a point in her like social link where Alush admits that she can't be around Camilla for extensive periods of time. Not because Camilla makes her uncomfortable or anything like that. No, it's because Camilla's so goddamn beautiful that it makes Alush's heart race. But because Alush had a heart transplant at the start of the game, it races so much it actually physically hurts her. So she literally can't be around Camilla for long extended periods of time. Because it turns her on too much, literally. That's literally what they say. Like, it literally turns her on too much. It makes her heart race because she gets turned on too much, and it hurts her. So she has to fucking leave. And I was just like, she's such an idiot. She's such a clusterfuck, but I love that. She's such an idiot, you know? Like, it's not just the fact that, you know, she's heterochromic, so her eyes are a different colour, which is to do with her demonhood. Like, her eyes were stained colour, and then when she becomes half demon, one of her eyes changes colour. No, it's not just that, and it's not the fact that she's, like, a blood-haired, like, blood-red-haired redhead. No, it's the fact that she's a colossal horny dork that doesn't even mean to be. She's like the epitome of gay panic for most of the game, and it's hilarious. Oh, I've gone way over it. I was going to say I was going to do it until Ridge was like 350-ish MP. But we should be good. This should put us, what, level 71, 72-ish? Okay. Okay, yeah, we're good. Now use another cottage, and then we'll proceed onwards. We'll actually advance the plot now. I know we wasted the past 45 minutes, give or take, here. We did get everything here. Yeah, we did. Alright. Oh, we've got a rematch with the Four Fiends. You have come at last. You cannot stop the Giants of Babel. Now is the time for the death of you all. I can't remember the voices I gave these guys, so I just made up new ones on the spot. The Elemental Lords. That's Scaramouche, indeed. The Turtle. Master Zeromus blessed us with a second life. Prepare to die. I shall enjoy fighting you again. You have taught us the power that comes from joining forces, so that's what we will do. Now allow me to restore your strength. Oh, I just used a cottage, thanks though. I forgot Rubicante always does this. He's a fair fighter. It's time we shall prevail. Also, yeah, straight up, you don't really fight them exactly 1-to-1, but you do fight them kind of close together. I'm just gonna set up. We've got to kind of rinse these poor guys, but it's because, you know, later fights. Oh, I can show a flare, you know, the actual best spell in this game. Ban animate. What's new? They're probably doing that to try and cover up the try and get outrage on that to cover up all the other things they're actually trying to ban. If I'm being blunt. And I know that sounds almost conspiracy theory-esque, but there's a lot of other really horrendous shit that they're trying to, like, get rid of. Like, you know, horrendous shit, not as in it's horrendous, as in it's horrendous if they're trying to get rid of it. from what I've seen. So I imagine it's more to do with that they're just trying to cover it up. They're like, hey, look at this cringy thing we're getting rid of. Ha 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 ha. Ignore the fact that we put on like another 20 trans bands. Because let's be real, that's the real reason they're like that. Appreciate any alternative interpretation. That's at least my impression. That's all. That's how it comes across. Because the country enforced 67 new trans bans across the whole US in the span of 3 months, for fuck's sake. So it's probably to try and bury some of that. You know, to add on to the currently like 300 something US bans on or US laws tied to transgendered. They are, for a country that says they can't do anything about guns, they're really, really interested in doing something about trans people just existing. Just fucking throwing it out there, and that's the last I'll say on it because I don't really like talking politics. As you know, I don't really like talking politics too much. And I know that's a very loaded statement to some people, but that's just how I feel. Oh, we don't have Kane with us, so we can't jump to interrupt that. Bring the Constitution. I'll always bring it up. Nah, don't worry about it. That's all I really got to say on it, that was all. It's never your fault. It don't even be your fault if, like, the only time I'd be more like annoyed with you is if I outright said like, I'm done with this discussion, and someone else, yeah, but what about? Then I'd be like, I just said I'm done. You know, if someone just brings it up and I choose to engage with it, that's on me. I could have just not engaged if I wasn't interested. Oh, that guy, yeah. Oh, that's group-wide tornado. Hang on. Yep. Rosa, please. Rosa. Before Rubicante ruins us. We're dead. We're dead. That bitch. Oh, that was the cheekiest son of a bitch. That was group-wide. That's what I deserve for the tornado exploit. Getting tornadoed myself. That's what happened. We got group-wide tornadoed. That was just unfortunate timing that we killed her just as she was about to do it, so Rubicante immediately came in and was ready to just ruin us. That was terribly unfortunate timing. Oh dear. Sometimes the game just it's after you. Alright, let's set up again. What I'm going to do is have you set up regen this time so you don't have that trouble again. Yeah. To be fair, dude, it's never once felt like you are forcing the convo. It more comes across that you just bring up what's on your mind. And so if I choose to engage, I choose to engage. I don't have to. Oh, what did you just inflict on my girl? What did you just inflict on Rosa? You know what? I don't want to find out. Where's Asuna? I don't want to find out. Let's just get rid of it. Anyone noticing that my guy Edge, despite being like super high level now, is like still useless? It's almost like he's the weak link of the party. I will actually cast haste as well, just to get more turns in. Can you try at least doing Blitz? Would that be better for you? And do I get a no-tiff from her YouTube? I find it ridiculous. It helps relevant to severe and have it on this. Yeah. That was kind of hit kind of hard. I say it hitting kind of hard. We're doing 9,999 damage per hit for most part, because Rydia's, like I said, Rydia gets insanely cracked as the game goes on. Alright, you gotta be ready this time for a potential Maelstrom that has come our way. Meanwhile, on Final Fantasy Attack on Titan, cheer. Oh wow, never mind, we destroyed her. Why couldn't that happen last time? We eviscerated her, wow. I'll use Mia just to show it off. It's an awful spell, but I can only show it off once. Assuming he doesn't die here. Because there's a very good chance considering radio attacks yet. Although he's still alive. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's Faraga. Oh, actually, that barely did anything. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's Inferno. That will hurt, though. Yep. Also, you're seeing the other reason why you don't use Meteor. It takes forever to charge up. Alright, let's see if it actually hits. It fucking healed him. Okay. It counts as a fire spell, so it's not even non-elemental like it is in the later games in the series. I think starting with 5, Meteor's non-elemental, you know, part of the buffs they give it because it's kind of shit in this game. It's fire-based. Great. So I can even recover my old stimulus check. First thing I'm doing is buying you an Elgato and HDCP stripper. You don't have to buy me anything, my dude. That's going to be like 1,000 each. Unless you're a mage with really great magic resistance, apparently. There we go. Oh, I forgot to turn the experience booster off. I was like, wow, that's way too much experience of that fight. I forgot to turn it off. I need to turn it off. Master Zeromus! Please, one last chance. We have failed again. Farewell, Valiant. Hang on. And trophy unlocked, survived the rematch. Oh, whoops. There we go. And just because I'm paranoid, I have got everything in the giant, so we can safely leave. Stream Golden Sun. Is Golden Sun not a part of the Mega Drive collection? Or the Sega Classic Collection, or whatever it was called? That's on PS4? I'm thinking of like the Mega Drive game, or is it like later generation and I'm thinking of something else? Because I'm sure there's a gold... Is that Golden Axe? I'm probably thinking of Golden Axe. No, yeah, I'm probably thinking of Golden Axe. This is the core of the giant, it's CPU. Whoa! You have to destroy the defense node first, because it can repair the CPU. Actually, Game Boy Advance. Oh. Oh, I forgot about this fight. And gives me some of those vibes. Yeah. I think there's a part of me, I think I know what game we're talking about, I just haven't played it myself. Globe 199, oh. What the actual fuck are you talking about? I think it's still got the reflect up, so... our best bet, if we want to, like, rail this thing with Flare, honestly, you know, when we're not getting railed ourselves with what the fuck, is, I'm going to cast, it's going to be kind of risky, I'm going to cast Reflect on... You know, I'll cast it on Fusoya. It's going to be risky, but stick with me here. And then I'm going to cast Flare on Fusoya, and it will bounce off the Reflect and hit something there, because you can't double Reflect. And I'm going to hope it hits the target. It did. That did exactly his health. You know, that did exactly Cecil's health. I need to pick my boy up. This is me missing no vibes. Fucking Globe 199! I've completely forgot that attack existed. And I don't know why it's hitting so hard. And I don't know why he's spamming it like a bitch. I remember now. I remember now. The reason why he's doing it is because he hasn't got any supports. You're not supposed to kill all the supports. Yeah. Kill the defense node, leave the attack node alone. That's what I'm doing wrong. And it's come back to me now. Oh, you bitch. You would. You still have Reflect, so I can't do that, so I'll just do a Concentrated Cure on you. Yeah, and then we leave the attack node alone. Because then it can't do globe whatever. I'm going to stop doing my trick because it might land on them. It might not land on the target I want it to hit. It might land on the little guy and then it will just nuke us again. That's fine. He still has Reflect on him. As soon as Reflect's off him, we're in business, because I can just heal more. Actually, I'll have you set up regen. Yeah. Yeah, this is the strat. You don't kill the other one. I remember now. If you kill both of them, then it nukes you. If the old man dies, that'd honestly be ideal. Because it will get rid of Reflect so I can group heal again. Okay, never mind, the fight's over. Alright, we stopped it. Why, you... How dare you destroy the giant? You. Do I know you? You have to look deep inside yourself. You have to realize who you really are. Stop it. You must wake up. What came over me? Why was I filled with so much hatred? You have returned to your true self. Now, do you remember your father's name? My father is Kruger. Yeah, you know he said Clue had 2 kids? Yeah, Golbez is Cecil's brother. What? Then that makes you Cecil's... You 2 are brothers? I have a brother? You were a puppet in Zemus's plan. Or Zemus, sorry. He was manipulating you with his hypnotic powers. He chose you because you have the blood of a Cluya, a Lunarian coursing through your body. That made it easier for Zemus to control you. But to make you fight against your own flesh and blood. That's enough. I was fighting against my own brother. All of this hate was against my own family? Oh my. I wonder why you were chosen. Easily could have been me. We both had Lunarian blood. I was chosen because the seeds of evil that lay inside me. The fuck does that mean? Zemus saw that evil, and he helped it grow. Where are you going? To find Zemus. I have a score to settle. I won't gripe in JRPGs in general. What the whole... Oh no, the villain's actually your dad. Or, oh no, you're actually siblings. Yeah, this game lives in that trope. Greater entity for in the midnight hour and therefore shall not face the consequences of my actions. Yeah, that too. That too. Everyone just kind of brushes over the mass genocide that Golbez caused. Wait. I too am a Lunarian, just like Zemus. I will join you. And so Golbez and Fusoya like make their own mini party. Which is why Fusoya leaves. Goodbye, Cecil. Because, you know, he did, like, nuke a castle. Is this what you want, Cecil? Golbez is never coming back. You know that, right? Aren't you going to do anything? He's your brother. My brother? Yeah. Well, shit, we need to get out of here first. We might be in trouble. We have to get out of here. Cecil. What are you doing? We need to find a way out. This way. Kane! Oh no, we're not falling for that again. We can talk later. Right now, we have to get out of here. I can tolerate any other tropes, literally any other, but that one, I hate that one trope. Yeah, this is the curse of it being a 1991 game, I fear. It's like, hey, do we have these story beats? We're gonna have these twists? Don't worry about the in-betweens. Hurry. Alright, all that's left is getting Bahamut and then the final dungeon. Hey, Kane. Welcome back to the squad. Finally, I was able to return to my senses. I don't expect you to forgive me, after all I've done. Of course we're not going to forgive you. The job is partly your doing. Stop it. Rosa. It's not Kane's fault. This is how Zemus had control over Golbez. Golbez too. Golbez is Cecil's older brother. He was being manipulated by a Lunarian named Zemus, who used their shared Lunarian blood to control him. Golbez and Fusoya went to the moon to destroy Zemus. How they got to the moon, I fucking have no idea, because we've got the moon ship, but whatever. Golbez is Cecil's brother? Then I too should follow them and give Zemus the payback he deserves. Hope you don't end up betraying us again. If that happens, you can kill me. Edge is like, alright, fuck, deal. And then I'd better go too. Besides, I want to give this Zemus guy a piece of my mind. Edge. Then it's decided. And here's your final party. Finally for final now. We can go to the moon. Cecil. Rose, Rydia, you two stay here. The 3 of us will go. Can't put you in any more danger. But Cecil, that's not fair. Please, you have to get off the Lunar Whale. I can't stress enough, if Cecil had actually followed through with this idea, you would not survive. Please, we must go fight the hardest fight in the game without any mages. We'll be fine. We men will just tough it out. We'll be fine. We don't need the 2 mages. That will absolutely be the thing that absolutely fucking determines whether we live or die. Little kid won't be much help anyway. Who are you calling a kid? Just stay put, kid. Cecil. Kane, Edge. Yeah, they're not gone. You know they're not gone. They just went inside their bedroom and just like, yeah, we're just gonna wait here. We'll just wait, and then we go to the moon, we'll just show up again. What's he gonna do? Take us back? Speaking of going back, though, there are 3 things we can pick up now. Monster Giant is done on the overworld. It's 3 tiny things that are barely fucking worth it, but you can get them now. Let's go. Da-da-da-da. Well, Rosa? Get out of the way, Rosa. No, I'm not moving. You have to take me with you. Why are you doing this? Because I don't want us to be apart. I don't care what happens as long as I'm with you. Rosa. CG about a lunar pillow party. I guess we have no choice. Aren't you the ladies' man? Alright, Rosa. I'll protect you with my life. Aww. It worked. What? You? This is everyone's war, not just yours. Besides, I'm the only one who can summon creatures to help us. Rydia, you're right. This war is ours to fight together. Let's go. Why do you stop us here? This is the worst space to be in. Also, Kane gets level crept for you, so you don't have to. That's why you don't have to worry about the grind. Kane gets level matched, so he's level 75, even though he was out of the party for the whole of, you know, everything. This is your final party for the end game. But our first port of call, in a very key conflict of ideas over a cup of coffee. Before we actually proceed to, we're going to go do these for whilst I remember, because it's for 100%. I want to try and get the 100% chest trophy, or item trophy at least, on this stream. The only trophy I probably won't get on stream is grinding out the pink puffs, because I think I've done enough grinding in this stream. We need to, it's going to be a bit of a long haul. We need to go back to the underworld. There's 3 specific locations that now, for some baffling reason, now just have more items in them. And it only happens after the giant. And I wish I could explain why. It's just weird game design. It's just the weird game design. So we need to go back to the underworld. And unfortunately, you can only do it in this ship, which is why you have to go trade ships. I'm turning off encounters for the sake of my sanity. Because we're going back to this fucking cave again. Oh, whoops. I wish float wasn't just one room and done. They buff float in later Final Fantasies to make it so it will stick with you until you actually get rid of it. It's up here. And there's literally no more poison path between there and us. Where is it? There's a bestiary item you can pick up here. Where the fuck are you hiding it? It's not outside, is it? No. Where is it? Yeah, because there's an item here, and it's supposed to only be after the giant it appears. It's supposed to be in this bookshelf, if I'm being blunt. Maybe they changed it in Pixel Remaster. Maybe you have to actually enter the final dungeon first, because that also shifts a few things in the world. Whoops. Yeah, maybe they've changed it. Maybe maybe it's shifted a couple things. Let me try Land of Summons as well, because that's where the other 2 we need are. There's one in the weapon shop and one in the armor shop in the Land of Summons. My factions, faction wars. Everything I hear about my factions in any WWE games just sounds like a grind for making you spend money's sake and nothing else. Like, it's literally like a mobile game level of just grinding for the sake of trying to convince you to burn money instead. If it's not here still, then tough shit. I imagine it will be when you enter the final dungeon, then, since that also resets things. So I'll just do it in my spare time. While I am here, though, here's where those secret chests were that I was trying to find last time we were here. You have to just find a random... You have to just stand on this random block. I found it off screen looking around. But there's supposed to, after the giant, be one in the bookshelf in the armory. There's not. Okay, so they have changed it. It's not after the giant. Because the one in the weapon shop won't be there then either. They have changed it. It's not after the giant. It's when you enter the final dungeon. But if we're going to enter the final dungeon, I'm entering it to do it. So I'll just do it in my spare time off screen. I had to check, though. In the original SNES version, it was like that. So they've just changed it. That's all that is. I had to check. Let's get back. I know I've just wasted 5 minutes, but I had to check. Next, we're going to do Bahamut, and then we're going to go into Final Dungeon. Because we should be a good enough level for Bahamut now. The actual the fact that they changed those items appearing to like a smidge later than usual, or something else. Action figure version of what? What? Okay, that's actually kind of cool. In a dumb way, that's kind of funny. Oh, right, I was gonna say, where's the stairs again? You're also fighting invisible Cena. Yeah. Okay, so I appreciate the devs are at least like with it on the memes. I'll just turn encounters off just to get a move on, because we've already done all this. We've already done the Cave of Bahamut. We just didn't fight the boss. Right? I have everything here. Yeah. We just didn't survive Mega Flare. Hey bitch, I'm back. We have won Leviathan over, it proves nothing. Bahamut got a summons, we'll fight you. Yep, come on, Mr. Durgan. Oh, I need to, I think Kane's got different equipment. I think that's why he's doing so little damage. I need to actually re-equip the bitch. There we go. And now we've got the ultimate summon in the game. And like this, Bahamut basically guarantees you'll do 9,999 damage. It's just got a hefty cost. Your spirit and strength are worthy indeed. Rydia, summon me as you wish. Rydia's got Bahamut, and I should get a trophy because that's the last summon. Yes, Summon Master. Awesome. I'll do that. So, yeah. Basics, the advanced, Bahamut. And then everything beyond it is I don't care for. Oh, he gets Gungnir. Alright, we're pretty good. What's he say now? Did you? Okay, never mind. I could just use an E-exit, but I'm just going to run out, it's fine. It's the beauty of being able to turn off encounters. You don't have to waste an emergency exit every time, you can just leave. You know, I think in the original form it was just called an exit. It was, the item was just called exit. Alright, so we've gone from being swept to sweeping him. We didn't give him a chance. Alright, once again, routine. You land here, you go into the cave. You have to go through the whole cave routine to get to the Crystal Tower, though. You can't just land there because the ground's not solid enough. Yeah, I feel confident in what we got. Let's go. I will turn cameras off. Once we're in the final dungeon, it's just getting a move on. So I wanted to get this game done this stream, so I am going to try and do little things here and there to get a move on. It's why I did that grind. Because it was do 45 minutes of grinding there, or do like 3 hours of grinding now. And so, you know, it just made sense. And keep in mind I said, like, level 75 is what I'd recommend you are for the final boss. So the fact that we're level 75 now, yeah, we'll probably be, like, closest to, like, 79 or 80 when we actually get to it. So we should, touch wood, be okay for the final boss. It's been a while since I fought the final boss, though, so we'll fucking see. Hopefully I don't, like, just get schooled, which can happen, because it took me a while as a kid to beat him. But when you touch this, you enter the final dungeon. We shall guide you to the core. Like I said, it doesn't actually have a final dungeon theme. It plays the Red Wings theme for one half of it, and it plays the Giants for the other half. I can't remember which way round it is. I can't remember if it's Giant first, then Red Wings, or if it's Red Wings, then Giant. It's Red Wings first, okay. Trophy unlocked, the Adventurous Wayfarer. Oh, go everywhere. Okay, nice. So I haven't missed anything. There are 32 chests in the Lunar Subterrane. And a lot of them are secret paths. Sure, I think we're at a point where Cura is just not going to be relevant. Yeah, no, that's not even enough to, like, get close to topping up Edge. Okay. And that's much better damage-wise from Kane. Okay. Oh, same enemy. Okay. Good crit. Nice. Oh, monster in a box. Oh, God. Please tell me you can tornado these guys. Good crit. You can, awesome. Okay, this fight's done. Because it's got like less than 10 health. Ooh, poison axe. And we got black garb for it. Oh, poison axe is kind of meh. 2 less attack, but better defense, better magic, better all around. Yeah, there you are, my dude. Nothing else here. Okay, let's go. Hey, Rydia, do you want to test out your new skill? Let's get this moving along a little more. It's expensive in the MP department, but we should be fine. Whenever it wants to happen. The charge up time for Bahamut's kind of whack. Yeah, there we go. No, I'll stick for the fight. I was like, oh, okay, the run away already kicked in. I was debating whether I'd even stick for that fight. Where's the other secret passage? Hang on. Also, at this point, on the PSP version, and only the PSP version, any character that's actually still alive, you can actually rearrange and put into your party. Okay, opposite. So you can have Yang in your party for the final time instead of Edge if you want to. You can have Param and Polem if you're a maniac. You know, you can have these different parties. You can have Edward in if you really, really fucking hate yourself. Sage Star. Oh, Trivia Unlock. Seasoned Hero. Gets to level 70 with every party member. Why didn't we get that trophy before? What? Wait, what? Why'd I only get that trophy now? Oh, I want to go the other way. Okay, I'm trying to like identify every passage to get every chest and whatnot. There are a lot of secrets here, including sacred weapons. There's a trophy for getting all the sacred weapons, so we are going to be here for a bit. The sacred weapons is that like in the lower levels here, there's basically like a bunch of weapons embedded in stone, and if you click on them, you fight a boss. But if you can beat the boss, you get the weapon. Flame Whip. Yeah, I was gonna say that's for her. There's going to be a lot of back and forth. It's why I turned off encounters for a second, just to kind of feel it out. Ooh, Durgan Sealed. Yeah, because the other path takes you to a secret weapon. Alright. The other path takes you to the first of the sacred weapons I was talking about. So you do need to go the other way. So I told you, we're going to be back and forthing a lot. Because I usually don't commit this place to memory, funnily enough. It's the last dungeon in the game and it's kind of big. It's the only thing I'm admittedly a smidge nervous about when I cover some of the later Final Fantasies. Or some of the other Final Fantasies of the Classic Collection. Is that I genuinely just don't have a lot of them like committed to memory, so we're going to be back and forthing a lot. Alright, first ancient weapon. Secret is blade, I bring death. I think this is for Edge's ultimate weapon. Nice. Alright, there's the Murasame. I think there's 5 secret weapons. It's literally 1 for each character. Oh, we're like portal. The evilest one, and I kind of remember it a bit just because of how awkwardly positioned it is. But the evilest one is actually Cecil's ultimate weapon, because that's just, you just gotta know there's an invisible path. Like, it's not even like a through the wall path, you just gotta know there's a wall, there's a floor that's not there that you can. It's like an invisible floor over a bottomless pit. You just gotta know it's there, and it's just like, what the fuck? Oh, Bone Durgan. Bone Durgans are super weak to Holy. Oh, if you do get down here and you aren't strong enough, the Bone Dragons are actually a pretty good grind. But only after you get Cecil's ultimate weapon. Because Cecil's ultimate weapon is Holy base, so it will basically one-shot the dragons. And as it's already been established, dragons drop insane experience, so... So I just gotta check fake paths. Aha! I don't know why this fake path is here, but I'll take it, because it then allows me to identify where the other paths are. Dragon Helmet. Make sure everyone's topped up. I mean, we're doing pretty okay health-wise. Everyone's health is... Even like the weakest health-wise, Iridia has at least 3,000 health, so we're okay. And I think this will be the last dragon piece. He had the gloves. The game still set... hang on. Oh, it's because of the defense. The raw physical defense. Okay, I'll let the game off. I'll let the game off on that one. I was about to say, it's like, the game's still insisting the Giant's Glove is that good. I don't think it is. No, it's because its raw defense is good. It's just, you know, magic defense is what the Dragon Armlet covers. And I'd rather Cecil be more raw defense, so everyone, so like other people can be more magic defense things, so you can be the tank. Oh, that was a completely waste of a heal, because the only person that could do with it's not even active. Oh well. Oh, there's fucking 3 exits. Alright, just gotta go through them. Artemis Arrow. If you've got an archer, no, Artemis Arrow's not bad. Oh, Gold Dragon. Good. Oh, not quite, Kane. I was optimistic. Alright, all we can do is just go down the list, so to speak. Oh, an elixir, thank you. Wow, did you see that? Rosa recovered from constriction like in one frame. That was badass. She's a queen. Like, you know, fuck your constriction, have this. Queen behavior. Cecil gets completely like grounded by it. She's like, no, fuck your constriction. Well, it was not just Cecil, everyone else does. Oh, I would have thought I would have done it. I turned off auto focus, I assumed that would be enough. Imagine is the worst. Now get this. Uh-oh. There we go. The only multiplayer features trophies, trophies they ditched, yeah. Okay, now Essex on the other side, okay. They integrated it into my faction. Oh yeah, no, fuck that. Dino Zombie. Generally, anything that's like... Any trophy that you know after a set point will no longer be available for anyone to get because of server requirements. Just frustrates me. It makes me not even be interested. So what do we pick up? Oh, just ice damage. Oh, Gold Dragon on its own? Okay. Okay, yeah, you would. You know me. Endless eternal march of time is what I am, Chip. Oh, X potion. We only got 2 X potions. That's absurd, considering that, like, you got elixirs now. Monster in a box. Oh, okay. I really thought this was the game where if you throw magic at a behemoth, it responds with flare. But that might be another of, like, 5's brutalities. Because, you know, 5 literally hates people. Like, Final Fantasy V genuinely has a vendetta against all players. It's absurdly hard. I say, it's not as hard as people make it out to be, but it is the hardest Final Fantasy. Like, people make it out to be like the game's just unfair. It's like, no, it's not. You just have to play by its rules. Cast Comet when used in battle. Comet is the weaker version of Meteor. No, I'll keep what she has. There's not something hanging off the edge here, right? I'm not thinking of something else. Okay, good. There's one of the secret weapons. What have we got here in this mess? Ruby on the Final Fantasy series. Oh, that's a shame. This game... Oh, Jesus Christ, it's an Ariman. This game's the easiest to do. The only trophy that's annoying is... get the adamant armor, just because you have to kill an enemy that has a respawn. and get lucky that it drops what you need. So that's it. All the rest of the trophies in this game are fine. Final Fantasy V, that game's hardest. That game's going to be annoying to get the trophy hunt just because the game's super hard. And 6, I think the only trophy that'll be annoying is the Colosseum. And I would say that that trophy would be annoying, be they recruit all their friends. I'll be on. That is, the thing with 5 is that it is the hardest Final Fantasy, and it will eat you for dinner if you let it. The problem, though, is that you can beat it, and you can beat it fairly. It just doesn't always feel like it's that way. Because the game has job classes, and the game expects you to be constantly trying to learn and enhance your abilities through these job classes, and if you don't, and you just stick to your comfort zone, you will learn very quickly why that's not a smart idea. Like, if you just have a Knight, Monk, White Mage, and Black Mage, and you're like, yeah, I'll get through the game with this, you will not get through the game with that. You will not get through the game with that. You will get overwhelmed. When you get new job classes, you need to try out different job classes and experiment. You need to try different things. And if you max out a job class, it gets added to the freelance class for free. So if you max out like several different jobs, your freelancer class becomes a jack of all trades. Once you understand that, the game's manageable. It's still hard, but it's very manageable. But if you don't realize that, you just get demolished. The only thing that's genuinely cheap is then the 2 super bosses. Because Omega Weapon literally stands on the main path, so you don't realize it's a super weapon, you just think it's a fight, and then you start the encounter with it and get destroyed. Shinryu is a monster in a box, so you might just walk up to me like, oh, there's a treasure chest here, what do you mean the hardest super boss in the game's hiding in this fucking thing? You know? Like, that's just mean-spirited, that's like the only actual bullshit moment. Final Fantasy 1 is extremely simplistic, so that game's fine. Like, the only thing with 100% would be annoying, I guess, is to like, get all treasure chests, but that's the same for every Final Fantasy. But that one as a whole, that'd be fine. I don't think that'd be a threat at all. 2, playing the game's the problem. I'm biased, I don't like to, but still. And 3's only trouble is that the Crystal Tower is kind of brutal. The Crystal Tower is pretty damn hard. But that's also the final dungeon of the game, so the final dungeon is the one bit that's actually pretty damn brutal. You know what it is. What if I take the lower path? What's down here? Six is just way longer. And so the Colosseum is the only trophy I can think of being kind of annoying. The save all your friends trophy would be a little annoying, but if you're playing through Final Fantasy 6 and you choose not to save all your friends, you're kind of playing it wrong anyway, so... Because there's nothing the only exception being Shadow, there's nothing stopping you from getting all of it in one run. Shadow's the only exception because you have to understand ahead of time what you need to do to set it up properly. If you don't understand what you're doing beforehand, you kind of get screwed. Because you have to go out of your way to not leave them behind when the floating continent is falling from the sky. And if you don't know to not do that, you're just screwed. Actually, to put it more easily, all 6 Final Fantasies could be easily platinumed following a guide if you really just wanted to platinum. Genuinely. There's a special guide solely for the pixel remastered versions of all 6 games. Okay, no, that's not the one with the bullshit path. That weapon, I think, is tied to the bullshit path, but I can't remember how we get in there. The only thing that's, like, genuinely, if you're not following a guide, that kind of is super, like, unexpectedly kind of cool, is when the final dungeon's unlocked, the game also kind of, like, shadow unlocks 12 optional dungeons. You need to go do those 12 optional dungeons, because each one unlocks a holy almighty weapon. that will give you not only give you a fairer chance, but will also, you know, you'll just level up a bunch doing it. My first Final Fantasy game, which Platinum, is 14, as it was my first PS4 game. Fair enough. I haven't Platinumed 14, but I also haven't played 14 much at all. I mean, on the PSN store, 7's annoying to Platinum because you have to get a date with Barrett in the Gold Saucer, and that's annoying to set up because you basically have to ghost Tifa and Aerith for like most of the game. Oh, and getting Aerith's final limit, because you have a very precise window to go do it before, you know, she unalives. Eight's annoying because you got to learn how to play the card game. You got to learn how to play triple triads, and I haven't Platinum 8 because I can't be bothered to do that. 9 genuinely has the evilest trophy list of the lot by a country mile, because there's a bunch of just random bullshit. And I mean like super random bullshit. Like, it is baffling. Also, this enemy is called Little Murderer. Just a heads up. What I mean is, there's a trophy for playing the jump rope minigame that's annoyingly hard to get a higher score than like 10, and you have to get a score of 1,000. And I'm just like, why? It's a rhythm game you have to do for 1,000 beats, and it gets faster every 10 jumps, so you got to keep the rhythm going and then adjust every 10 jumps, so you can't even defocus from it. Why would you make that a trophy? That game also has Get Excalibur 2, which I'm like, why did you do that? And if you don't know what Get Excalibur 2 is, there is a weapon in the game called Excalibur 2, as you might have gathered, but the process of getting it isn't some fancy side quest, it isn't, you know, do anything fancy, special, or anything like that. No, it's just straight up, get to the final dungeon in under 14 hours. You have to speedrun it. Speedrun a turn-based RPG, fucking do it, bitch. No, I've never in my life even considered doing it. I have no interest. My average playtime for like Final Fantasy 9 is something close to like 40 hours. Want me to do it under 14? Nah, piss off. Ten has some mean ones as well. But 10, it's more mean. 10's more mean because, like, the most annoying, aggravating trophy in the game is a bronze trophy. And you're like, you bitch. Why would you? What's the point? Dodge lightning bolts 200 times in a row, bronze trophy. Fuck you. And 12's trophy list isn't too bad either, it's just the game's 200 hours long, so that in of itself becomes the challenge. You know? And back on the PS3, the whole 13 trilogy I felt were pretty... I'm 100%ed the achievements list, because I had them on 360, but they were pretty manageable, all in all. 13.1 is just beat the game and beat the super bosses. 13.2 is find all the bad endings, that's the only one that's a little annoying. And LR, I'll say that, the only one I never beat, from what I can remember, is just beat the game on hard, is like the real challenge. Beat the game and then beat it on hard. And then 15 is piss easy to platinum. And 7 Remake, I just can't be bothered to do the data missions. And also, we don't know about 16 because it's not out yet. I imagine 16 will be similar to 7 Remake. They'll probably use 7 Remake as a basis for its trophy list. As in, beat the game, beat it on hard. See all the variants of maybe like a particular certain circumstance here and there, so it'll probably require more than one playthrough. Toad Run, maybe? Yeah, if they really wanted to, like, kill me, yeah. Toad Run, maybe. Oh, no, I've already been in here. If this leads to where I think it leads, I'm backtracking. Okay, it doesn't. Okay. I think there's a secret path somewhere here. That's why I'm like looking around a bit more. Leaving. We're not fighting the Ahriman because they cast Doom. I don't want to get them swept. Fuma Shuriken. Oh, I want to go left. Oh, cottage. Okay, we are approaching the rest point. Is it here? Yeah, it is. There's that fake path. I knew it was coming up. I say that you might realise that the way the edges are pointed might lead to something, but when I was a kid, no, I never figured this out. I had to look up a guide way later on, and then I realised that there was something hidden there. And we're not even done. You can see from the invisible paths that there's another secret over here. Sure, I really enjoyed the hard mode run for FF7 Remake because they reworked all the bosses, so you have to relearn all the bosses. They all had new attacks. And that's just like how to make hard mode more fun 101. Change up the AI or change up their attacks and don't just, you know, make it they hit harder. The only thing I didn't like with 7 Remake's hard mode was the whole you can't restore MP. So you have to like do it chapter by chapter, you have to plan it out. Which is fine for most of the game, sucks for the Graveyard. The Graveyard has 2 bosses that are magic dependent to beat them. And it's like, if they were in separate chapters, it would have been fine. But because they're on the same chapter, that whole chapter's a monster to deal with. I do appreciate, though, that when you transfer your save from PS4 to PS5, it also transfers every single trophy over. So if you have Platinum the PS4 version, you don't have to Platinum it again. You just need to install it and transfer your save. But I never Platinumed it because I say I can't be bothered to do the data mission, so did'ems. And the data mission's not even that hard. I just think it's because they're very monotonous to do, because they are like basically like challenge runs. You're put in a room with very specific enemies, with very specific characters, and it says figure out how to solve this, and I just couldn't be bothered to do that after a while. Especially the ones that involved Aerith, because Aerith is not a fighter, she's a support member. Anytime they put Aerith on their own, they went, yeah, just kill these enemies, I'll be like, what? No! There's your save. A couple streamers I watched did it, and I know there's like a secret super boss that's like a... You fight like a precursor to the Prod, which is an Act 3 enemy, which is just kind of nice that you get to fight to see what the an idea of what the Prod's going to be like when Part 3 eventually comes around. Right, I believe this is like Dark Bahamut, this fight. Which is why they give you a save point. Because, you know, it's the same idea and they don't need to get rinsed. Those damned by Zeromus shall never bear this sword. It is Dark Bahamut, okay. You know, I really hope that Mega Flare ignores Reflect, because otherwise we're in some serious shit. Oh, it just cast Flare on itself, I think. Cheeky git. Okay, does it reflect Mega Flare? It does not. That does not look like it reflects Mega Flare. Ow, God! Uh-oh. It's like, yeah, I can do that too, bitch! Oh, Edge is dead. On. Okay, yeah, Cecil can take it. Oh, I didn't mean to do that with you, Rydia. We need you to do Mega Flare again. Is Edge gonna live that? Okay, he's fine. Shell help, probably. I think we're in business. Now we've got Shell up, I think we're relatively okay. But this is worth it because this is for Cecil's ultimate weapon. Are you gonna be okay? Okay, you're good. Okay, we win, no worries. Yeah, for Ragnarok. And this thing is hella good. Look at that attack jump. 243, plus it gives you defense, plus it gives you magic evasion. And it's also a holy blade, so it has holy damage stacked on top of everything. It's a beauty of a weapon. Alright, awesome. I'm going to use the other cottage because we burned a lot of resources. You've got cottages to burn anyway. And I'll also save again. I don't want to fight you. Give me one sec. That's exciting news that I can share with you guys. The new chair I ordered just arrived, and that's why I just quickly go just to kind of get it. I'll set it up because it's like still in the box. I'll set it up after the stream. It's basically a floor chair, I think they're called, like a floor sofa. So I can have it because I sit on the edge of my bed. I think I've mentioned it before when I do all my streams. I don't actually have like an office set up or whatnot. So it's just so I can have something for my back. Since my back doesn't appreciate me just basically just sitting up all the time. Also, yeah, enjoy your gil. I just kind of enjoy your money count going through the fucking sky in this area, because the enemies drop an insane amount of money. Which really works out because there's a shop that sells elixirs, so if you're really struggling, you can just burn your money to get elixirs quick. I'll just do that. I'll have to go all the way around, god damn it. Yeah, you keep missing your ice. And then we can just firebomb this blue dragon. Oh! It's a lie! The blue dragon's good with fire. The cheeky bitch. That's okay, we can just beat it up. Oh, okay. The way the fact that the map's caught on the edge is like, you know, there's nothing else here, don't look. But you'll see, because the Ragnarok's got Holy on it, assuming this thing doesn't die before he gets his turn. Yeah, 9,999, because it's weak, it's undead, so it does Holy damage. Yeah, see what happens first. We kill everything, or Rydio rinses everything. Oh, no, Rydio's gonna rinse them. Okay. And we get the Minerva Bustier. What? Paralysis resistant clothes worn by the goddess of the heavens. Yeah, you already have the white robe, so I'll do that. Because, you know, the Black Mage can't have the white robe, so it'd be a little mean. How are we doing on the items? Oh, 32, okay. Oh, we're near the end. Of the first half, I suppose. Oh, I can just... Oh, no, don't want to load. We've got another secret weapon. I think it's in the middle room. It is, and this one is... You know there's Ahriman that casts Doom, but we're going to fight one that casts it on everyone. The coveter of the Holy Lance shall perish. Yeah, the plague. So you have... You have 10 turn seconds to win this fight. It's kind of brutal. I think this guy's got like 27,000 health or something like that, so you got to do that before that hits 0. It's not too hard, but it can get a little close. Oh, never mind. We destroyed him. Never mind. They made that. I feel like they've made that easier. I remember that getting kind of tight and close to the wire. Anyway, the Holy Lance is, if you haven't guessed already, Kane's best weapon. By sacred force, we shall protect the ribbons. The Lunasaur. Also, thanks for giving away that there's ribbons in here. And if you don't know what ribbon is in Final Fantasy, ribbons make you immune to all status conditions. So they're really fucking good. I'm waiting for Kane to get back down before I drop the group heal. There we go. Nice. Yeah, the ribbon. A ribbon is resistant to mage attacks. Mage? I don't know why I said that weird. Mage attacks and prevents various status ailments. It makes you immune to all status conditions. I give it to both the mages, usually, because they're the ones that kind of need it the most. Alright, there's still 5 treasure chests we're missing. I'm going to hope this in the second half, but I don't really remember much being in the second half. I am also going to do this again, just to kind of top up. We've got so many cottages to burn, we might as well. I believe this is also your last pit stop before the final boss, so you want to kind of make the most of this while you're here. I was just sticking my phone on charge quick. Yeah, now we're in the second half, the Lunar Subterrane. And as you can already see, whoops, it's not the wrong right button, just there, and another holy weapon, the one that's a bit more generous, I guess, to spot, is right there. If you're struggling with this area to even survive, if you get that holy weapon, just backtrack. Backtrack up to the cave, backtrack round to the save point. Also, be prepared for like all the enemies here to be really fucking strong. It's why they stopped playing the normal battle theme now. In this area, and in this area alone, they will play the boss theme for every single encounter because it's genuinely going to be that much more brutal. And so to help represent that, they have they just have the music represent it. Wow, this thing really wants Rosa dead. Oh, I say that if you do it off Reflect, it's random, so it's more just RNG that really wants her dead. There's really not much Rydia can do because that Reflect. Or I don't want to... I don't want to burn MP on Rydia yet because we've still got the boss to fight. Once we've got both the holy weapons, I will probably backtrack and use the like the cottage one more time and rest up. We've also got 2 forced encounters coming up, whereas actually when you step on a certain tile, it forces a fight against like a mini-boss. But I think that's on the next floor. Another Fuma Shuriken, awesome, that can replace the one we burned. Because we'll be throwing that at the final boss. Also, behemoths are just normal enemies here, so enjoy life. Oh, that did nothing. Okay, never mind. Rydia, you're not helping in this situation. I think it's more that it's just resistant to ice, but still. Rydia's time will come because she will literally carry most of the damage in the final boss. Because she will just spam either Flare or Mega Flare. Good crit. Thank you. I was going to turn encounters also so we can get down there. None shall ever bear the cursed sword, Masamune. Ogopogo. Ogopogo is actually a little tough just because of how much he spams his attacks. Oh, that's Tornado, okay. By edge. Gotta be careful, because Kane being in the air means he's not getting the heals. So Kane's actually kind of low. Hey! And we got Masamune. And, oh, Power Unleash. That's all the sealed equipment. Next, we got Murasama and Masamune, so now he's all set. I thought there was another one. Oh well. Before we proceed onwards, though, there is one last thing I want to try and show off in here. I just got to remember what room it's in. Because I honestly do not remember at all what room it's in. So I've turned encounters off just in case I'm off. I know what it looks like, I just need to find it. Yeah, it's here. This room. Let's see if I can even get it. These guys, yeah, the Flan Princesses. These guys have something like a 2% chance of dropping a pink tail. And that pink tail is how you get the adamant armor, the best armor set in the game, but it's extremely difficult. They're a complete meme enemy, but they have a chance of dropping what you really need. And their dance will tend to inflict Berserk, making you waste your time. Actually, give me 1 second. Right, I'm back. Also, I only fight one batch of these, but I just wanted to show off they're only in this room. But they have a chance of dropping the thing that gets you the adamant armor. If by sheer miracle I get it in one, and they drop it after this, they won't. But if for some miracle they do, I will, leave. I will just use an emergency exit and leave and go get the armor, just to get that done, so I can show off more. We're nearly there, though. Oh, they've changed their dance routine. So the music changes. Ah, no luck. Anyway, that's where they are, if you're ever curious. And then in my off-screen, I will grind them up to get the armor, because there's a trophy for getting it. Whoops. I'll do this, save again, get back to where we was, turn on encounters, because we've got 2 mini-bosses you're kind of half-scripted to face, so I want to make sure we actually do face them. Since they're technically treated as random encounters, it's just random encounters that happen to trigger when you're on certain tiles. It's 4 treasure chests, maybe. 1, 2. There's another floor yet, so I'm gonna hope the last 2 is there and we haven't missed anything. Just do that. Hopefully that'll be enough. We're nearly there, we're near the end of our journey. It only took us 4 streams, so I suppose it's fitting, Final Fantasy 4 streams. But I also, like, anytime I come back to this game, I forget how short it is, in terms of, like, RPG length. You get so used to, especially nowadays, like, each game, like, every RPG ever being, like, at least, like, 30 to 40 hours plus. But you go back to, like, the NES and SNES era, and it's like, actually, no, these games... What's our playtime? 17.5 hours? Like, that's not that long. Way less than that on stream, it's just grinding I've done off stream that made it a bit bigger. That's a Gashal Ristle. I don't think it's to access your storage from anywhere, just in case you need to make last second storage adjustments. Right? Oh, I already have one. Yeah. So if you want to access your, like, big storage box, like one last time before the end, you can. And there's 2 chests in here, awesome, so I haven't missed anything, good. I was worried I would have. No. 2 of the bastards? No, I'll pass, thanks. Another Fuma Shuriken, that's going straight at the final boss. Oh, another Fuma Shuriken. Oh, trophy unlocked. Legendary Treasure Hunter. Get 100% of the treasure chests. Nice, so I know I haven't missed anything. I think this is one of the scripted encounters. I think you always encounter with 2 Wicked Masks here. I think you can still run away from it. It's just that they're scripted to spawn on this tile. Also, why did he cast Reflect when Reflect already been cast? I mean, thanks. Stop doing this. Look, alright, you know what, we'll stay. If you're gonna cast Reflect on everyone, we'll stay. We'll stay for the funsies. Just literally everyone can Reflect, so no one can hurt anyone with magic unless it's Mega Flare. We might as well just stay. I just gotta not try to heal, because it will just bounce. I mean, not that it matters in that sense, because yeah, it will bounce off in that way. But we'll hopefully be on top of it. Oh, jeez. Survive, Rydia. Don't take 3,300 damage from that. Oh, well, they both Kuragers came back at Rosa. Damn. Hopefully this will kill one of them. That'd be nice. Wow, seriously? No? Okay. You motherfucker. He's gonna get a lot of healing. Okay, that wasn't too bad. I think his heal is like 600 to 800, so he just got that 4 times. Okay, he's done. And this has some... Okay, this is the flaw of the scripted encounters. Yeah, because you have Zeromus' mind and you have Zeromus' soul later on. I guess you played more versus 4x4, yeah. Spam protect all you want, my dude. You're wasting your time. Mega Flare's magic based. Protect's only for physical. Speaking of scan, I might actually scan Zeromus' mind, because I think it's quite bulky. But it does also mean I need to get Cecil to wake up. Get up! Yep. Okay, we can't scan it, never mind. Why did I try? I think the Zeromus' soul is the other way around. Like every time you attack it, it spams shell, so it's more physical focused. Oh, it's dead. Okay. Then I think it's on the other staircase. Is the other scripted encounter? No, is it on this bridge? There it is. There's Zeromus' mind. No, we just fought the mind, right? Where's the soul? Hang on. I know there's another Zeromus attack. Because if I go to... Nope. Bestiary. Yeah, Zeromus' mind, but there's no... Yeah, we haven't fought Zeromus' soul. Okay, I'm going to stick around here for a second just to fight it. That's why I was confused when I was like, Zeromus is my... What? There it is. Zeromus' breath, sorry, not soul. I think it used to be called Zeromus' soul, but they relocalized a lot of it. Because the original SNES version's localization was, well, a SNES era localization. It's not winning any awards. You know, you catch my drift. It's not brilliant. Reporting to Master Zeromus. Oh, this... I don't think this actually means anything. This whole reporting to Master Zeromus. I'd love to be like, yeah, it affects how the final boss understands you or whatever. No, I don't think it changes anything off the top of my head. Awesome. And that's it. So because the next room is the final boss, I am going to just quickly run back, use the cottage, and then run back here. Because you can do that in the Pixel Remaster. You'd have random encounters you have to run away from on the way there usually, but for the sake of speeding it up, I can just do this. But yeah, we're done. We've made it past the final dungeon, so we've just got the actual final boss. Whoops. A lot of this game, I do kind of sit here and like think back and like, how did I beat this when I was like 6 or 7? I did, because I said this was the RPG that got me into RPGs, and I fondly remember getting to the final boss and then being stuck on it for like 3 weeks before I finally beat it. But I just feel like it's just when you're a kid, you're just built different. You just have patience that adult you doesn't have in the same way. And I'm only assuming we're the right level. I said you should be like 75 for the final boss, so we're a little stronger, but not too much, so it should still be a fair fight. And we also get to hear, like one of my favourite final boss themes in the franchise. And I know that's entirely nostalgia bias, but I don't care. I love the final boss theme. Especially if you've got headphones on, because there's a part of the track where it jumps between your ears. But only if, it's only if the stereo sound, and I love that. And it's something that every remaster of the track's fucked up. They never keep the jumping between the ears. They play it in mono, and I'm just like, why? Anyway, at the bottom, at B12, only when you're ready, approach forward and get ready for the final boss. Golbez, Fusoya. Also, I like that Golbez now has like an actual combat sprite and isn't like the giant version of himself we had when we fought him. This is scripted, this is just the opening of the fight. Yep, keep at it, you two. You're really hammering them. You're really beating them down. Now, cast Meteor. I am ready. How futile. Double Meteor! Oh, I wish that was a real thing in the game. No, it's not a real skill. Maybe they're not actually consider it. The body dies, but the spirit lives on. We did it. You have much strength. It is a shame Zeromus had control over you. Alright. Yeah, that's it, guys. Game over. No final boss. We're all good. All of you have come. Yeah, but we're 1 second too late. I was supposed to take care of him. Cecil. Cecil. I am evil. Well, yeah, you're the main villain. Of course you're fucking evil. I am the hatred of Zeromus. I am Zeromus. I loathe all. Also, his name is Zeromus. What's the spirit should be called? Zeromus. Yeah, alright, yeah. Great idea, guys. His death caused his hatred to grow. We've made him stronger. Zeromus, no. Now you're a Zeromus. This time I will see to it that you are completely destroyed. But it is time for you to disappear. Immediately goes for Meteor, and now he's going to learn the hard way that Meteor's kind of shit. Yeah, see? wait. Fusoya, you just saw him use Meteor and you got healed by it. Why are you causing it, you pair of morons? Meteor has no effect. Use the crystal. You choose the dark path. The crystal cannot cleanse your sins. You are forever bound by darkness. Die. Oh shit, everyone's got meteor. Just where are these rocks coming from? We're 12 layers deep into the moon. Suffer. Die. My hatred will continue until all is destroyed. It is your turn. Come, join me in hell. Elder. Cecil and the others are in danger. So I see. Now is the time to pray for them. Pray for them in this planet. Palom, Porum. We must gather everyone's prayers and send them to Cecil. Cecil. Please, take my strength. I'm gonna kill the whole lot of you if you don't come back safe. Please return to us safely. Do it for this land. You have our support. We pray for you as well. Come on! For Sir Cecil, for everyone. Moon, I call out to you. Please accept our prayers. Golbez, you must use this. See the crystal. Zeromus, I won't lose. I can't. Hey there, let us help you. Their prayers gave you life. Don't give up. Trust in your power. Their prayers gave you strength. Keep your focus. Don't die on us. Their prayers give you vitality. You must prevail. Cecil, my brother, give the holy power within you to the crystal. Zeromus, show your true self. Their prayers give you holy power. Zeromus will do nothing to you right now until you... Oh, magic's been nullified. Oh, I don't think it actually lets you. I was going to try and do this. I don't think it will let you. Oh, it will. Okay. He won't attack until you attack. So take this opportunity. Never mind, he gets rid of it immediately. Never mind. Let me just throw the crystal. Let me just start the final boss. As soon as you throw this crystal, the final boss begins, so get ready. Final boss time, and my favourite final boss theme ever. Or one of the most iconic final boss themes of my life, at least. You know, sorry, I was wanting to enjoy the music for a minute. So $60 could be used to finally experience what the fanbase raised about Legend Dragoon. Yeah, it's a fair point. Dun, dun, dun. I need Rosa to stay alive. I'm burning an elixir. I love this final boss theme. It genuinely, like... I don't know if this was exactly the first, but it's the first one I remember. This is like the first final boss I remember ever experiencing in a video game. And that's why it has such an impact on me. This is why like it hits so hard. Like, you know, I'm getting teared up now. Like as a kid, first experiencing Final Fantasy IV, learning all the stats, learning all the levels, like experiencing the bosses, like losing to the Mist Dragon and being like, oh, I can't just mash a button, and having to like figure out that you're supposed to wait and let strategies, and then it developing, and then having this story, going to the moon and everything, and then getting to this point, and then spending like the next 3 to 4 weeks of my childhood determined to beat this thing. Like, I didn't care for like its graphic detail, because I think I was too young to really like comprehend that this is like a really disgusting monster. But I was just in, you know? I was determined. It's funny, is that the composer for Legend of Dragoon is an American rock artist named Dennis Martin. Each of these games have a different song philosophy, and the comparisons are fascinating. He's going to prepare to do that again, so I need to get Bahamut in. Here it comes. Big Bang is the most threatening attack if you haven't gathered already. The final boss has something like 140,000 health, so you are going to be here for a while. I feel like Whiplash. But I'll take... Oh no, Rydia's down, that's a problem. That's fine, I didn't have any magic up. The most interesting thing about Zeromus, though, is that the hardest part of the fight is actually... Oh, Big Bang. The hardest part of the fight is actually the first half. The most interesting thing about Zeromus is that the closer he gets to death, the lower all of his stats become. So if you can get past like the first half, he will do less damage to you for each attack in the later half. It's just an interesting thing they do for this that I always like bringing up. If you can survive the hardest chunk of the fight, you will survive the rest, because he will just get weaker and weaker and weaker. It's so weird. It's satisfying, because it does actually feel like you're pinning this almighty evil into a corner as the fight goes on, you know? But it's still, like, it's a thing. Because all of his stats will just gradually lower. He'll start hitting you less and less and less. Or hitting you for less and less and less. Okay, I need Meteor to like do its Meteor thing and not work. Awesome. Meteor is so bad. Meteor is so bad in this game. Yep, Meteor's useless. He's dead. There's our final boss. I'm aware I made that look relatively easy, but I assure you, especially on your first playthrough, it is not. It is not. You had, like, I know I was like a dumb 6-year-old, like 6-7-year-old, but that took me like 3 to 4 weeks when I was little to beat. It took me forever. I was determined to beat this bitch, and I just couldn't for the longest time. As long as evil exists in the hearts of the living, I cannot perish. Ugh. 23 after all. Rip my sanity. Yeah, best of luck with that. Well done. I had no idea you all possessed such strength. Perhaps the people of the Blue Planet have evolved beyond us Lunarians already. Yeah, you might be right. Zeromus' last words bother me, though. As long as evil exists, true evil will never die. Every living creature has at least a touch of evil in its heart, alongside its goodness. As long as there is light and darkness, the overworld and the underworld, it will be so. Good exists because evil exists, and it was your good that destroyed Zeromus' evil. Oh, stop it already. There was nothing to it. What are you talking about? I was surprised Zeromus didn't try to control you. I'm sure you have enough evil inside. Nope, my heart's filled with goodness all the way. Well, it is time I returned home. What will the rest of you do now? I think we'll go home too. Yes, there are people worried about us. I see. I'm glad you have such wonderful friends. I look forward to the day we meet again. And for the few of you that have the PSP version, it also comes with an extra game that was made originally for, like, I think WiiWare, if you remember that, released in episodes, but then put to bundle together and then released on the PSP, called Final Fantasy IV: The After Years. I'll talk about After Years more properly during the credits, but yeah, After Years elaborates on a lot of what happens here, and it has a pretty interesting, like, shift in tone for the story, considering it was released, you know, nearly 20 years later. May I come with you? You wish to join me? Yes. I could not return home, not after all I've done. I would very much like to meet my father's people. Ah, yes, Lunarian blood flows in your veins. Very well, come along. But you must be ready for a long sleep. I am. Thank you. Sounded very worried when you called my name, Cecil. Does that mean you've forgiven me? How foolish of me, of course not. I have caused too much suffering for that. We are off to spend many years in slumber. We pray that the blue planets will be peaceful forevermore. Come. Yes. Cecil, you certain you want to depart this way? He's your brother! Goodbye, everyone. Cecil! Goodbye. Goodbye, my brother. Cecil. Thank you. We get that old legend again. One born of a dragon, bearing darkness and light, will rise to the heavens over the still land. The moon's light eternal brings a promise to earth with bounty and grace. Before long, the moon would set forth on a voyage once more, seeking out its light. Though of shared blood, time's march keeps the two separated. One on Earth. One on a motorbike, apparently. I mean, one on the moon. I love this game, dude. It's the RPG that got me into RPGs, and it's one of the most significant games of my childhood. I fucking love this game. We shall begin today's training. Yes, sir. Where's Palom? Oh no, not again. And then I cast Blizzard on the creatures that we encountered at Mount Ordeals. Whack. Ow! How many times are you going to be late to training? The Elder is really angry. How many times do I have to scold you before you learn? It'll be years before you even half the Sage Teller was. As punishment, you will train twice as hard as your sister today. That's not fair. I think it's very fair. When will you come to realize that you have responsibilities? You're the heir to the throne. I know, jeez. Your mouth says you know, but your actions say otherwise. Yeah. Your great words would be yes, sir. Alright, I'll shape up. Ugh. I don't think about Rydia, though. Ugh. Yeah, good luck on that little crush. Your Highness, have you been listening to anything I've said? So good luck on that little crush, considering Rydia straight up doesn't like you. Was a courageous young lady. Yes, I never thought you'd really come back. Rydia. Rydia, why do I have fangs and you don't? I wish I didn't have fangs so I could be like you. How can I be like you? What are you talking about? Doesn't matter what we look like. With her around, the future looks bright for the land of summons. Indeed, I'm sure she will get more beautiful by the day. The important thing is what's you're like on the inside, not the outside. Isn't that right, Cecil? Honey? You're a queen now. Try calling me my king instead of honey. I know, but can't stand being so formal. Oh no, it is time for training. Cheesy as fuck. Yeah, yeah, it's 1991. I love it though. Let us begin training. Yeah! You get the closure of everyone. Final Fantasy VI handles it the best, because it's literally the credits are rolling, and you'll see like an item that resembles that character, and then you will see them during the escape of the final dungeon, because the entirety of Kefka's tower starts collapsing as soon as Kefka dies. And so it's all like during the escape, you see everyone have like a moment's like their time to shine sort of thing. You don't need to see all this epilogue stuff. And like the credits will come up saying like Terra, whatever her last name is. And you'll see a moment where Terra does something to help the group. You know, like you'll see Locke, and then Locke does something. Edgar and Sabin, because you know they're brothers, and then they do something. And it's just really cool. Then Final Fantasy VI also spoils me rotten because the credits theme is a 22-minute long orchestra track. And it's like one of the best tracks in the entire franchise. Like Nobuo Uematsu, what he got out of the SNES's soundtrack is still to this day astronomical. It's absurd what he was allowed to do. He had an 18-minute long final boss theme and a 22-minute long orchestral credit song on a fucking SNES cartridge. How? Honey, your king shouldn't be. Do not say that. I think Yang will create a wonderful kingdom. So about this castle that got bombed. Hey, Edward. Your Highness. Play the song about the paladin again for us. I will, but only after I finish my work. You want the castle back the way it was, right? Yeah. That's a promise, right? I mean, yes, it's a whole castle, so it'll probably take a while, but we'll get there. Anna, I hope you're watching over me and helping the people of Damcian. And caring for other people, as I cared for you, like you said I should. I hope you and Tella are having a fine time together. Lally-ho! We need to repair the castle with great haste. Your Majesty, we don't have enough materials. Take apart the tanks and remove any useful pieces. There's no need to worry about war anymore. Oh good. We're degrading it into 16-bit tunes, yeah. Isn't Legend Dragoon PS1? Just to check. Father, I wonder how Cecil and his friends are doing, because wasn't the PS1 32-bit with its sound chip? I almost forgot to tell you. It seems Sir Cecil and Lady Rosa has become the new king and queen of Baron. Yep. Oh my. And we have been invited to the coronation ceremony. How lovely. Your Majesty, you're not helping fix the castle at all. I am the king, I do whatever I want. Now go take apart some tanks. Lally-ho. And yeah, going into after years. Also, yeah, Kain starts his journey. He's off Mount Ordeals, you know, where we became Paladin. He's starting his own journey. Update the differences, 16-bit is my... Oh, fair enough. Desert Rosa, I cannot bring myself to face you both. Not yet. I must test myself as you did, Cecil, at Mount Ordeals. I will train till I've surpassed my father as a dragoon. Only then shall I return the Baron. Which, yeah, he becomes like a holy dragoon in After Years. But with After Years, Cecil and Rosa get married, and they have a kid, and the kid is one of the playable characters in After Years, because it's based like 17 years later. Oh. What is it? And it's cute that they go to Mysidia. for part of this. I think this is Mysidia. I forget where this is exactly. No, this isn't Mysidia. This is in, like, Troya. No, it's not even Troya. It's near the entrance to the underworld. That they kind of full circle it back to this earlier area. Yep, and there's the moon ship that was disguised as the moon leaving. That's the one that the Lunarians and Goldbears are on. Hey, they finally got a second bed, so they actually share the room. What's wrong, Cecil? I thought I heard my brother's voice. Really? I couldn't tell for sure, but I didn't get to read the rest of that. Forget it, for it was nothing. Hey, you two, aren't you gonna get ready? It's your big day. Yeah, we must have lost track of time. You two can play spoochy face all you want later. Come on, Rosa. I mean, your Majesty. Please just call me Rosa. Well, Rosa, you gotta get dressed. And get some makeup on you. The bride can't keep people waiting. Come on, we haven't got all day. I'll be right there. Can't wait to see everyone again. It's been so long. Cecil, are you ready? Yes, I'm ready. The text auto-scrolls in this, which is why I got stuck behind for a second there. It wasn't my imagination. I heard my brother's voice say, so long. Hello, Edge. Wait, where's my wedding gift? Yeah, it was like, come on, you fucking idiot, come on. The king and princess. Yep. Yang. This is something I kind of miss, and thankfully 15 did bring it back, but it was more in reference than anything else. Playing the Final Fantasy anthem in the finale of the game, in the epilogue. Like the national anthem of video games, you know? That's how it always feels. That's how it's always felt to me. The Final Fantasy theme's like the national anthem of video games. I always just call it the Final Fantasy anthem, so people know what I mean. Because after Final Fantasy 9, they started mixing it up a little bit. 13's the biggest mix-up. 13 like references no tracks whatsoever from the classic saga. Like it was an entire, almost like a soft reboot almost in a lot of ways. Hello, Rydia. But that then, you know, obviously people weren't too keen on, so they went back on it on 15. And I imagine, because Yoshi P is a huge fucking Final Fantasy fan first, that the main theme will be in 16 as well, probably in the credits. Because it's just the, like, sealing the knot for me. You can't have a Final Fantasy game not end with the Final Fantasy theme. And that's it. And that's it. That's Final Fantasy IV from the Pixel Remaster. One of my favourite games of all time. The Final Fantasy that got me into the series, and the RPG that got me into the genre. It's one of the most significant games of my youth, and I still hold it extremely dear to my heart. And outside of like one optional dungeon, the status condition gaze of all the Marlboros, I genuinely still love absolutely everything about this game. That dungeon's the only place that's kind of annoying, but that's like the one annoying level of like most games people love. Everyone who loves a bunch of games tends to have like one level in the game they love the most. This kind of just like But I love this game. It's everything to me. It's like such an important milestone game for everything I am, and I still love coming back to it. Like I said, about 20 odd years later, it got a PSP sequel in the forms of Final Fantasy IV, The After Years. I won't be covering After Years because it's still only on PSP, and probably will be for the rest of the time. Unfortunately, I don't think that's ever going to get any proper, like, respectful, like, drag up to the modern tech. But, After Years, based, like, nearly, like, 18 odd years later, follows Cecil's kid. And from there, you go on your own journey, experience different things. And the big twist that I wanted to kind of at least bring up is that at the end of it, instead of fighting, you know, this big ancient Lunarian, you fight a computer program. And you know that this, like, computer program, this science program, was actually, like, the origin of, like, magic in the planet. It was, like, the origin of, like, most things. It was, like, this absolute thing that just sat in the background. It was a computer program. And, like, you destroy the program, and it releases a test subject specimen. You fight that as the final boss. But you fight it once as, like, a baby specimen, seemingly destroy it, and your game's like, yeah, you won, you beat it, you beat the big threat. Let's go explore around a little more while we're at it. You go to do it, it comes back, and it's, like, 3 times the size, and, like, much more deadly. And the final boss theme suddenly has a bunch of extra instruments added on it that makes it sound more intimidating. You finally kill it again, you get, like, the triumphant ending, you go to leave the dungeon, and you encounter it as a random encounter, and it's, like, now, like, the fully grown adult form, and, like, you get the full track of every instrument. And although, like, it's not as iconic as Zeromus, it's a great final boss. This 4-stage fight of, you know, fighting the computer program, fighting the child form, the teen form, and then the adult form, but each time the game kind of baits you into thinking you're done. I say that, like, After Years as a whole has a lot of problems, and there's a lot of parts of After Years that feel kind of tacked on, especially because, as I said, when it originally released, it was a WiiWare title, and it was episodic. And so even if it's a collective package on PSP, you can feel it was episodic. Like, it feels like you do, like something builds up, you do 2 dungeons, you fight a big boss, and then suddenly it stops. And then you start up again, and you do have, like, a bit of a build-up, you do 2 dungeons, and then it stops, because of the episodes. I still enjoy it, though, just nowhere near as much as the original. And the new tracks that they added in it as well are pretty cool, even if some of them are weirdly hard to find nowadays. The final boss theme, though, and how it all builds up is pretty cool, even though most Google searches will just take you to the final phase version, and not the build-up versions. You have to kind of do a bit of digging if you want to find the build-up versions. But from here, I was sold. After Final Fantasy IV, because I didn't have this on the actual SNES, sorry, I didn't actually have this on the SNES cartridge, I had this from the PS1 version, because in the UK, and it's weird that they handled this, there was something called Final Fantasy Anthology, which had Final Fantasy IV and Final Fantasy V bundled on it, and if you're sitting there and thinking, no it didn't, it did, but only in the UK. In the US, there was another game called Final Fantasy Anthology, and that was 5 and 6 instead. It was an odd thing. But afterwards, I then tried to play 5, got rinsed and came away from it. I instead played 6, really enjoyed that. Played 7, and then after that the rest was history. By the time I played 7, I was a bit older, a bit more mature, a bit more understanding, and I just started hunting them all down and playing them all, making me who I am today. I'll be back in just a minute. I know we're on the credit screen, I want to get my final thoughts, but I'll be back in just a minute. There, I'm back. But yeah, like, there's not much else to say because Final Fantasy IV, I think what helps as well, and I can say this with confidence because of my history with it, this game is a perfect introductory RPG for people, for like turn-based RPGs. And you might say, oh, there's better examples nowadays, and yeah, there absolutely is. There's probably a million games you can bring up that say, yeah, no, this was better for it, this teaches you this better, this does this better, whatever. What you need to also understand is, I was 6 years old when I played this, when I first played this, and I beat it. This was my very first RPG, and I beat it. If I could beat it at 6 years old, I think this game is approachable by just about anyone. You know? If I could beat it as a 6-year-old, that alone is testament that this game is beginner-friendly enough to get you in. And especially with this Pixel Remaster, you have the boost things. You can turn on noth encounters at will. You can multiply experience or money gain if you're really struggling. You know, like, there's so many little tools that this Pixel Remaster has that makes it even more accessible than it already was. And that's ignoring the fact that, you know, I've been playing with the default soundtrack because I have biased preference for the original SNES soundtrack for all 3 of the SNES era Final Fantasies, but you've got the remastered soundtrack, so you can hear like an orchestral variant of the whole soundtrack if you want to instead, and make it feel all cleaned up. You don't have to have the pixel font, even though I really recommend it, because I think the default font that you can have is kind of ugly. The pixel font makes this feel like how it should be. And it will be like that for every Final Fantasy. I will never not play with the pixel font on in all the pixel remasters. Because the default font looks ugly to me. It's too clean. Having a pixelated world and then like too clean like text in small on it's just not right. When we next return to the classic 6 games though, it will be with Final Fantasy 6. Yeah, I am jumping to like the fan favourite next. After 6, it will basically be 1, 3, and 5. If you're wondering why I'm not covering 2, well, look at my sub-goals. I'll cover it when you when you fucking make me. Final Fantasy 2 is the only Final Fantasy game in the entire series that I straight up do not enjoy. So, I say that, I'm technically Lightning Returns as well, but that's because I haven't finished it. Is this a platinum? No, because I need to... The Flan Princesses, I need them to drop their rare loot. And I also need to pick up the 3 books, 2 books in the Cave of Summons and the book in the Marlborough Cave. Because they're supposed to only spawn after the giant, but they weren't there, so it gave me the impression that they've nudged it. But then that's it, that is it for the platinum afterwards. I had to think then. Because we got all the ancient weapons, which is like all those like weapons where we had a boss tied to them. And we've got Excalibur. I threw Excalibur at Zeromus. I threw that bitch at Zeromus because Ragnarok's is better. And we've got all the summons. And all like the grind ones, like beat 5, I think it's 5,000 enemies, we've got that, and 500,000 gil, we got that. So yeah, it's literally just, the only trophy that hasn't popped yet is beat the game, but I imagine that'll pop after the credits roll. So it's literally just a couple items, get a rare loot, and then I'm pretty much done. Oh, and fight one of every enemy. I haven't done that yet. I just glanced at the trophy list. So I've got beat the game, which is what I'm about to get the adamant armor, which is exchanging the pink tail, so you need to like get lucky the Flan Princess is. 100% the bestiaries, so fight one of every enemy, but that's easy enough because the game has a tool built in to tell you what areas you haven't experienced all the enemies of yet. Get all the items, like I said, I'm missing 3 books. And that's it, so only 4 trophies. The one we're about to get, and then armor, bestiary, and items. Pretty easy platinum all in all. Like I said, the only trophy that I think's missable by technicality is that once you leave the giant, you can't re-enter it. And the giant has 8 treasures, and there's a trophy for getting every single treasure chest. So you need to make sure they're all on the path, so there's no reason for you to not get them, but it's still worth saying, make sure you get them all if you do decide to go for this for whatever reason. It isn't just you, it's like anyone in chat that hops in and whatever. If you go for this game and want to go for platinum, make sure you get all 8 chests in the giant, because once you leave, you won't be able to come back, unless you have a save left in there. Which, to be fair, this game has like 16 save files, so there's no reason to not leave a save in there if you're unsure. Also, it doesn't usually play the overworld theme for the credits, it's just that the credits also has to credit all the Pixel Remaster stuff, so it's like it's gone on for longer. But that's it. Now, I'm curious if the Pixel Remaster will let you continue beyond the end screen, or if this is the actual like end of the screen. Oh, it will let you continue on, awesome. Data save progress is up to the final boss. I'll save on a separate file just in case. Oh, that's cool. That's appreciated. That's a quality of life. In the SNES, PS1, and I think the PSP version... actually, no, the PSP version has a post-game dungeon, so I'm lying. Just the SNES and PS1. When it came up with the end, it never left that screen. You had to turn off the console. You know that super old thing that some games did. Trophy unlocked to the Blue Planet. Defeat Zeromus and restored peace to the world. So all I've got left is I am missing 12 enemies. I know where that enemy is. That enemy is in that cave. It's literally, actually I can show you. Because this is like my favorite feature in this Pixel Remaster, that you can do enemy tracking. Not that cave, it's this cave. See, I'm missing an enemy in here. So I can say like, okay, there's an enemy I need to go fight in there. Oh, I'm missing an enemy in Troya. I think. Oh no, Tower Zot. Okay, I'm missing one enemy in Tower Zot, that's fine. I like how the Tower Zot's here and not where the tower is, because you get dragged there. But that enemy also, I think, appears somewhere else, so that's not a hassle. I'm pretty sure that enemy is somewhere else as well. And not just Tower Zot. I missed a whole family of enemies over here. Hang on. Oh, there's just wild creatures I didn't go fight, huh? Yeah, there's actually... Okay, that's just 4 wild creatures I didn't go fight. I need to run around. Oh, I think these are also, like, wild enemies in the general field. Like, over in the corner. Whoops. Alright, if I go for... Yeah, they're just wild creatures I haven't fought. Oh, 4 of them. 5 of them. Jesus. I just need to do running around. That's basically all I'm missing. I just need to go run around. I imagine this is Cave of Summons. I'm really, like, so I'd be genuinely baffled if I missed encounters. Yeah, okay, 2 enemies in Cave of Summons. Yeah, I absolutely missed enemies on the moon because I couldn't be bothered to fight them. And I think that's it, 'cause all the rest of the bosses. Yes. If you're playing the PSP version, there's a post-game dungeon that you're supposed to do at like level 90, because you have a bunch of extra dungeons added, an exclusive dungeon for every single individual character. So you have a Cecil dungeon, you have a Rosa dungeon, a Kane dungeon, but it also includes extra characters, like you have an Edward dungeon, you have a Parampollum dungeon, etc. You do all of them, you'll be around strong enough to fight like a Zeromus E-type, which uses the design of Easy Type, which was a Japanese exclusive version of 4 that made the whole game easier, but changed up the final boss to a different design. Spawn area unknown. Also, you can just press square at any time and like and do a fight against this thing, which is kind of fun to me. You can just do this, and you can just start the fight if you want. It's like, you can just... That's just a cool feature. You just want to like rip out a fight again. Additionally, you can have the original or the remastered soundtrack. Some of these tracks sound a little weird for me. I know I'm biased. Like, I get, like, if you haven't even got the nostalgia bias, most of these tracks are really good. But for me, it's just something about them. I'm like, no, they're not the same. Oh, my problem with this one is that it doesn't do the stereo sound, so it doesn't jump between your ears during the final boss theme. Which is a shame, because the rest of the theme's actually pretty good. My biggest grudge with the Pixel remasters, like I said before, is Final Fantasy V. Because Final Fantasy V's soundtrack is extremely drum dominant, and the drum almost doesn't exist in the remastered version of the soundtrack. And that just annoyed me personally. Because I love the drum in 5. But I digress. And you can also, and I want to show this off as the last thing we do, bring up the gallery. And you can go through all the old artwork. The original artwork for Cecil. Cecil, Kane, and Rosa. The final team. Because there's Cecil as a paladin, Kane, Edge, and then Iridia and Rosa in the back. Cecil Dark Knight design. Dark Knight. Cecil's a paladin. Paladin. More Cecil. Kane. The box artwork of Kane. What does it say it is? Oh, the unused version of Kane. Interesting. No wonder I didn't recognize it. Rosa. Kid Iridia. Adult Iridia. Teller. Teller is the weirdest fucking design in the world in his artwork. What the actual fuck? Eddie. Yang. Palamporum. Palamporum. Fucking Sid. I love this artwork. Edge. Edge. I think that's Fusoya. Yeah, that's the original look of Fusoya. Yeah, they changed that. They changed that. Golbez. Scarman Leon. Oh, the turtle. The four fiends. Rubicante. Leshy. Oh, some enemies. Zoo. Bone Dragon. What are these guys? Baron Guards. Puppeteer. Soldress. I'll just keep the text on. Sorceress. Trapdoor. Green Dragon. The Giant Soldiers. Man, they changed a lot in their designs. Wicked Mask. That thing looks hideous. The White Dragon that you fight near the end. The Red Dragons. And the unused sprite, the Red Dragons. The Octomammoth, the boss we fought in the first dungeon. Antlion, we fought that in first stream, sorry. The unused Antlion. I wanted to fight that one. Look at that thing. The Mother Bomb. Baigun. The Magus Sisters. The concept for the Magus Sisters. That weird boss. The Dolls. Shadow Dragon. The Doctor. Good old Luigi. Luigi's monster. Luigi transformed. The King of Eblin. Queen of Eblin. The Wall Hazard. Zemus. Zemus's artwork looks sick. I think that's Zeromus. Yeah, no concept art for like Zeromus final form, just the spirit form, I think. If we could bring in Teresk. Terescu? I'm not sure what that is. Scythes. The hovercraft, oh, we got all the vehicles. The hovercraft, the airship. The airship does not look that cool. The lunar whale does look that cool, though. The Giant of Babel. The Giant of Babel is going to look hella different. Look at these. Oh, and then the line arts. Oh, and then the, I think these are the mobile version sprites, because they did like they redid all the sprites in the mobile phone version. I think it's the mobile sprites. There's Kid Iridia, Grown Up Iridia. It's a super tankish monster, and it's one of the most despised creatures in Dungeons & Dragons. Oh, right. Teller, Ed, Yang. God, jeez, look at the pecs on that guy. Terrascat, okay. Is that Palom or Porum? Or is that Porum or Palom? Sid, Edge, and Fusoya, Golbez. And that's it. All 90. So what happens if I load this? Let's make it the last thing I check. Where does it actually put us? Oh, outside the whole dungeon? You bastards. Oh, okay, it does literally put you before the final boss, because all the stuff we threw at it is still back in our inventory. Awesome. As in from here, you can just go about and start exploring and working on everything. Alright, awesome. But that's going to do from me from my journey through Final Fantasy IV. Like I said, I'm taking the whole weekend off, because I take Saturday off anyway, and I'm going to be busy on Sunday. So I'll be returning on Monday. I don't know how many streams in a row we'll be doing, but I can confirm, at least for now, we will be starting Atelier Rorona. So hopefully you guys can look forward to more Atelier antics as we enter, going back to the 5th saga of the Atelier franchise. But until then, remember to like and subscribe. It genuinely really helps this channel grow. And in the description of every video, you can find my Twitter, my Patreon, or my PayPal, any of which if you feel so inclined to follow or support me on. But until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys then. Take care now. Peace. Hang on my stream. I keep meaning to, dude. I promise you. I don't neglect. I just end up so busy. I'm gonna get some food and I'll hop in. I promise. It's just a bad habit. I get busy and end up getting carried away with other stuff. But I digress. I'm off. Bye bye.